hit record, and we'll go ahead and kick things off officially for the meeting today. So, look, guys, what's hot for me is it's SC2. You know, there is no Julia said it best. This is the time I look forward to all year round. You know, quite frankly, a lot of you guys already know this, but I don't even really work in my position, my role now as a divisional coordinator. I rarely work with actually Adrian. Adrian, we missed one. Let's go to Adrian first. Adrian, we missed one of the most important people here. Adrian, what's hot? What do you appreciate? Sorry, my man. I thought
I think I'm on
you
the
were
wrong
at the top and you moved down to the bottom corner.
All right. For me, what's hot is going into the third SC2 push. What's really hot is specifically looking at the group of individuals here that we have, and it's exciting to see. I know Jonathan and I experienced it last year. We had a great group, and really seeing how they transformed, and really what was come and came out of the SC2 push. So I'm really, really excited about that. And what I appreciate you guys for taking really the time out of your day to be here, be engaged, and really just be ready to crush SC2 here.
Hold on, can we all just take a minute to appreciate that Adrian showed up to a meeting yesterday with one of the most brutal mustaches I've ever seen in my life, and he just shaved. For the love of God, thank you.
He shaved it out yesterday afternoon, but yeah, I saw it yesterday too. It was pretty brutal. So where was I? Yeah, SC2 guys is the time that I look forward to the most. In my position now, I don't even really oftentimes get much time or connection outside of the initial training and then SLDMs with any of our sales team. You know, and I love doing this because this is like the kind of the 2 or 3 weeks in my schedule every single year where I kind of just switch it up and I tell the branches and the districts and other people that I'm speaking to on a daily basis, hey, you guys are on your own for the next 3 weeks. I'm working with just the Spartans Alliance team and crew. And I know, obviously, I still do a lot of other things for the division outside of that. But, I mean, really, this is where my energy and focus goes for a couple weeks. And I love it for me because it's an opportunity. Number one, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy this group every single year. There's a lot of camaraderie, a lot of memories that are built off of it. And it becomes a fun, I think, and an exciting group to be a part of. But also, I think the second thing is that when you're actually in this group and when you're a part of this organization, it's really a chance for you to better yourself. I love working with our alliance because, like I was telling Adrian even last night, like, you know, a lot of you all, like, quite frankly, you might not even know it yet, but like your lives will be changed through this experience. And not necessarily like your lives will be changed by me, but I can help, I think, maybe nurture and facilitate a little bit of that process that you'll create for yourself, you know, during this push. But I think if you do it the right way, I think if you're showing up the right way, this experience should be life-changing. And it should be something that you go into it one way and you come out, you know, another way. And, you know, so just as I know all of you guys have done a PC with Adrian. I know everyone's, you know, probably most of y'all were at the SC2 kickoff last week, but I just want to remind you again what the Alliance is and what it means to be a part of this group. You know, so the first thing, our 10K Alliance, and we have alliances for a lot of pushes, but for SC2, it's the biggest, baddest push of the year. You know, to give you guys an idea, just so everyone has a way to comprehend our team goal for a second. As of now, we've sold about 300K so far this summer as an office. So that's including for all of May and all of June, about 300 grand total. What we're going to sell in the next 2.5 weeks in July is 450K. That's our push goal. Okay, so to give you an idea of that, and summer is our biggest season of the year. So we're talking about really selling 30% of what we're going to sell for the whole year in a 2-week period. You know, it's a big deal. We're going to explode out of this. And the reason it's so special is not just because our team, everyone on our team steps up, but it's the alliance. It's the 20% that produces 80%. You know, out of that 450K, I expect this group to do about 300K of it. You know, and this is only 20% of the team, not even. You know, so and some of the people on here aren't even technically in our office. They're in Doral, you know, or the Metro Miami office. So in Doral is going to be something similar. Y'all are probably going to sell half of what you sell for the whole summer just in your push period. So it gives you guys a taste, I guess, the taste of the significance of the SC2 push and what it means to be a part of it. What is more important is there's an elite group in the office called the 10K Alliance. That's the call that we're all sitting on right now. This is the elite group in the office. This is the special forces. This is the squad. This is the hand-selected group to kind of go into battle together as we enter into the push. And so anyone that's an alliance, and we have different pushes and alliances throughout the years, or throughout the year, excuse me, when we have different events. But this one's the biggest one. You know, this is like, hey, it's like one thing to be on the all-star team. It's it's one thing to be like a starter. It's another thing to be a starter on the all-star team, you know, or the all-star game or the Super Bowl. Like, this is the Super Bowl for us, you know, and you guys are the starting lineup for the Super Bowl, not just for like the scrimmage that we're going to have at the beginning of the season. And that's why this is significant, is because this group, like I said, they're the 20% that produces the 80%. And they're all of you all have created some sort of goals for yourself during this push period that is going to be both exciting when you achieve it and also really damn challenging along the way. You know, most of y'all, you see your goal and you're probably both excited about it and kind of nervous, you know, about hitting it. And that's exactly kind of how you should be feeling at this point in time, you know, going into it. This group, you know, like I said, this is the group we're gonna have daily alliance meeting mornings. I think you're gonna be able to build strong camaraderie and relationships with some people in your peer group here, and which I think will help you, number one, in long term, like Cutco and TLA and things like that, but also non-long term. Some of y'all might not be here with us beyond the summer, you know, and those relationships that you have and form, like, you're gonna be able to take on with you wherever. You're gonna get a chance to build relationships. You're gonna get a chance to develop your skill set, right? You're gonna get a chance to make a lot of money, you know, in a short period of time. Like, you know, creating some financial success for yourself, I think, is gonna be important during this push. And most of y'all will be making anywhere from $2,000 to some of y'all $10,000, literally in the next 2-week period. Right. A lot of y'all will be making anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 in the next 2 weeks. And it's a good chance and opportunity to kind of stack away, stow away, get some major experience, both on your resume. Right. And it's one thing, it's just something cool that you can be able to put on your resume and say, hey, I was a part of the 10K Alliance, I was part of the elite group in the office. I was part of, you know, that top performing group and the number one office in a $250 million marketing company. But more importantly than that, it's the personal experience that you get from being a part of the Alliance. It's the personal development. Like, that's the real experience that I'm talking about, not just the skill set, not just what you can put on your resume. And by the way, guys, like, I think everyone understands that. If you're a part of this group, I hope you realize, look, you're going to make a lot of money being the Alliance. It's going to open up advancement opportunities. This group, by the way, the reason I spend a lot of time and energy with this group is because, for me, this is our future TLA class. Now, not everybody that's a part of our Alliance will get into TLA. I know that's not, you know, a fact. But it usually, most of the people that are getting interviews are on the Alliance. You know, so this is, for me, like, as funny as this sounds, my SC2 Alliance is my future branch manager class for 2020 or 2021, right? A lot of the people that you see on here, like, you're talking about Julia and other people, like, and they're talking about how this is their favorite time of the year. Like, that's because they really showed up and developed and created a name for themselves during the actual push. So yes, you're going to make a lot of money. Yes, you're going to open up some advancement opportunities. Yes, you're going to get a lot of experience. Yes, this is the group. If your words of affirmation is your love language, if you like being recognized, this group will get the most recognition all throughout the push. But more importantly, this group, being a part of this group, it's an opportunity to figure out, you know, who you are, who you need to be, and it's an opportunity to start taking the steps of becoming that person. You know, the first thing I would put down in your notes, guys, if you're taking any notes for today, which you probably should be, okay, I would just write this down. The theme of this year's push, and I was going to prepare a keynote for this. I didn't. The theme of this year's push is, who are you? Who are you? And that is the question that I want you guys to ask. And that's the question that I want you all to be able to leave and feel like you have a lot more clarity on, is, who are you, right? Who are you supposed to become, and who do you need to be? Why does this push matter in helping you become that person? And I think we're going to talk about this a lot all throughout the push. But, you know, my goal is that, again, you are coming out of this push, yes, with more Cutco sales, yes, with more income in your bank account, yes, with more experience, yes, with some new doors and opportunities, yes, with a higher level of maturity, but yes, with even an expanded capacity for how much you can handle. But most importantly, I want you guys to be able to come out of this push with a very, very strong self-reflection and mirror glass of like who you are, right? Of like who you are, who you're called to be, and what your potential is actually. And that's the whole entire thing. That's why we do this push, because most people, by the way, never really get a chance to truly tap into their potential. You know, most people are going to live their lives and they're going to have an idea of what they could go after, but they're never going to get a chance to taste and see, if I actually gave everything my best, what's possible for me. And that's what the push is, because it's a 2.5 week period where you leave it all on the table. You know, and some of you all have done stuff like this before, but I'll be honest, most of you all have probably never given 100% to anything in your entire life, right? And I know some of you all have worked really hard at a lot of things. You might have given 90%, 95%, even 98%, you know? But I would argue not just you all, very few people, period, can say they've ever given 100% to anything. You know, whenever they say they've given their very, very best. Not like, okay, yes, I gave my best, but I left a little bit in the tank. You know, I left it all out there, but like I could have gone a little bit harder, you know, saying, hey, you gave it your very, very best, right? Being able to say, hey, I gave it everything I got. I left nothing on the table. I had no reservations. And when you do that, when you get to a point in life, in business, in anything, where you've left everything behind, you have no more regrets, you have no more, you know, holdbacks. It's not like, hey, I'm going to go try to do it, but I'm going to like, you know, put my rope over here just in case I, you know, fall down. So I still have something to save me. You know, it's like, I'm going to go all out. I'm leaving it all on the table. No excuses. Like I'm going to give this thing my best. And when you do that and you get to that point, like that is really when you get a chance to see like what's inside of here. You get a chance to see like what you're really made of, who you really are beneath all the other stuff. And there's very few things that I think in life. And I know it's funny because we're selling Cutco, we're selling knives, and like it's a strange medium to be able to experience something like that. But that's what I want you guys to be able to experience during this push. I want you guys to be able to have a chance to make a ton of money, get advancement, open up some other cool opportunities, and yes, all those perks. But most importantly, guys, I want you guys to get a good chance and a good look in the mirror to see what's inside here. Because that's really what the world and what people need right now. The world is desperately yearning for leaders, and leaders are people that know who they are, and they know, more importantly, who they're here to become. So, you know, that's the purpose of being a part of this alliance and being a part of this group. And I think if you're a part of this, if you're open to receiving during this time periods, if you're giving your best, if you're showing up, I think you guys are going to get a really tremendous experience from this too. You know, I want to let you know too, on the same notes, is that like I can't if you're part of this group, you're going to get coached tough. I can't make people want it more than you actually want it for yourself, right? I can't make you want to lose weight more than you want to lose weight. Like you're the one that has to actually put in the work. Doesn't matter how much I scream at you and yell at you. If you're just not up for the task, not up for the challenge, then you know you're only going to get so far. But you know, I think our job, my job, Adrian's job, our job, Jonathan's job as help coaching you and leading you all, and your job for yourself is to, hey, get the support and encouragement when you need it. And also get hey, so sometimes you guys are going to need someone on your ass, you know, laying a little bit of a fire underneath of you and telling you to keep going. And that's like the purpose of having positive pressure, having positive support, having circles of influence, you know, so that when you feel that way and you don't feel like doing any more push-ups, you don't feel like continuing with the exercise, you don't feel like doing any more demos, making any more phone calls, whatever it is, you got someone there that's either encouraging you or giving you the drive that you need. But you also, like I said, I think that's why part of this, like, and I just want to say, number one, officially, like, big congratulations, you know, if you're a part of this group. You know, there's a lot of, number one, there's 60 people on the team that didn't get a one-on-one with Adrian or Jonathan, or just Adrian. I don't even know about Jonathan's team. You know, there's like over 60 people that didn't even get a one-on-one. There's 10 people that got a one-on-one and aren't part of this group, you know, at least. So, you know, I share that with you because, again, if you're a part of this group, yes, we selected you for it, but also you made a choice. You know, you made a personal decision and personal choice too. And honestly, it's not for everybody. You know, it's not going to be for everyone. But I want to really commend you, number one, and congratulate you guys if you were accepted to be a part of this group. And just say, like I said, it's going to be an exciting couple weeks, and it's going to be a challenging couple weeks. And you guys are signing up for a challenge. You know, there's a quote that adversity willingly undergone is the best virtue. You know, adversity willingly undergone is the best virtue. When you choose things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. You choose to do hard things. If it's easy, we don't want it, right? And that's kind of what being about the Alliance is about. That's why what working out is, right? You purposely put your body and muscle through stress so that it tears. And then when it builds back up, right, it builds back up a little bit stronger. You're purposely putting yourself and your body through periods of stress. When Cutco knives are made, they're hammering it with metal and they're putting it through a stress treatment process. It's the same thing going on in our bodies, minds, and souls. So that's what you guys are gonna get a chance to experience and taste during this push, during this Alliance too. So I'm gonna go and lead us through the exercise and the rest of the workshop today, but any other additional thoughts, maybe Adrian, if anything else you wanted to add or what you're excited about for this group here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to share the actual exercise specifically. I think we're gonna do that.
No, you don't need to do that yet.
But yeah, I mean, specifically, one thing that I'm extremely excited about, I said it before specifically, but yeah, guys, I'm really big, and Andrew's heard me say this, and like it's kind of a running joke, but I'm really big on the power of 1 year. Right? Like who someone can become from now, a year from now. Specifically, that was me, and that was something that I was really grateful for. Me and Jonathan as well. I mean, being able to see like who we were able to become from this point, and then like a year into the next year, which is something that's really, really grateful and really, really impactful. So I'm excited to see where you guys can take this thing. And specifically, I'm excited where you guys can go and be from now, this point next year.
Yep. By the way, yeah, actually, I'll just leave it at that. Jonathan, anything you want to add?
Nice. I mean, not to echo the same sentiments, but it's really, really impactful. I think probably Adrian went over the same thing I went over with everybody on our one-on-ones. And it's the same thing Mr. Evans just said. You guys are about to make a crap ton of money. But later on the road, like that's gonna run out eventually. What's really, really key and what's really, really precious about being on the Alliance is the experience and the skills that it gained from being here. So I know it's done in my life. Literally just like every other manager here, this is the best time of the year, funnest time, hands down. And I'm excited for you guys to experience that with us as well too, as we break a record.
Oh yeah. We got multiple records to break. By the way, Miami, the record's 420. So, or like something like that, but it's about 420 and our goal is to do 450. So we'll break that record. Jonathan's goal is to break the branch record, right? Is that what your goal is?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Mike and Brian is going to break the district record. Eddie's going to break the other record. We might be breaking 4 or 5 SC2 push records in Florida Coast this summer. So we got some exciting things cooking here. Here's what we're going to go ahead and do. I'm going to lead y'all through this, just the agenda for today. We're going to talk about some vision stuff. I'm going to go through the push expectations and calendar. We'll go through some skill set exercises. And then the last thing we'll do today is our team draft. So if you didn't know already, something exciting to look forward to, we're going to have captains. We're going to do an entire draft, and everyone's going to we're going to draft teams. And there's a point contest for the whole entire Alliance and the group. And I'll get to share with you. That gets pretty fun and exciting. So you guys have your current like mini teams or your pods, but you're also going to have a group of just 5 or 6 people that are, part of the your Alliance team and stuff. And so it will be things will get excited. There's a big contest there for it. So all right, I'm going to go ahead and let's start off with this. Okay. The first thing, and I would kind of take a couple notes on this stuff as we go through it. Okay. What I want to walk you all through is kind of, and my goal and purpose during this is to help connect you all to your vision. Okay. And I think part of it, like when I say vision, what I'm talking about is your North Star, right? Your vision, like kind of like your, not, I wouldn't necessarily say purpose, but like whatever your vision is. Look, I think it's important for everyone to realize that you are your most powerful self when you lead from vision versus circumstances. And my job and goal as, y'all's, manager and coach during this time period is to help connect you all to whatever that vision is for you. Most people in life are leading from circumstances. They're leading they're making decisions and choices based off of the situations around them and the circumstances that they have. What happens to me? That's how they make most of their decisions. Okay. And by the way, in life in general, like the most powerful leaders and the way you want to be showing up during the push is you don't want to be leading from circumstances. You want to be leading from vision. It's not like, oh, this is how good I am and this is how many recs I have. So this is, I guess, how much I'm going to sell. No, it's like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want to achieve. Here's where my vision is. And that's what I know is possible. So now work my way backwards. What do I have to do to go to create that? You create the circumstances to support the vision that, you want to have. And I think when you live and you're breathing from vision, it's the most powerful. You're a more powerful leader. You're a more powerful salesperson. You're a more powerful connector when you're coming from a place of vision, because it's something that is inspiring and other people can feel it. The idea and the purpose of a North Star is that, and here's what I'll tell you guys, by the way, too, because we're going to go through an exercise and I'm going to hopefully help you all kind of tap into and connect what is your personal vision and what's your personal North Star. And when I say that, I think a lot of people can get confused with North Star being like, you have to find like your life's purpose, or something like that. Like you have to figure out your whole entire life. And that's great if you know that. Like if you already know, then hell yeah, more power to you. But that's not going to be the case for most people. Having a vision is less about like actually achieving the vision. You guys know what I mean by that? So having a vision, it's less about actually like achieving the vision itself. And it's more about who it reminds you to be and how it influences your decision-making on a daily basis. That's the purpose of having a North Star and a vision. Because if that's the North Star, that's the vision, right? It's how that influences you and inspires you to be and show up on a daily basis. That's a lot more important than actually ever like attaining the vision. It's the reminder of who you are here to be and to become. I can share with you guys even an example, my own personal, like just life, or actually I can share you a Coco example. A lot of y'all know this. I don't talk about this very often because I don't try to like put myself on a pedestal, but in 2016, we broke or was it 2017? 2017, we broke the all-time national sales record, for the company. And that was as a branch office. So we did $680,000 in sales that summer. And the previous record, by the way, had been like 500. And that record had been there for like 10 years. So to give you an idea, it's like we literally obliterated that record. And that record will probably stand for quite some time. Look, and I think that's when like I developed, by the way, like doing things like this. By the way, some of y'all could have done nothing. You have a big SC2 push, all of a sudden you're going to become a hot shot in the company. There's a lot of times like you just need to stand out. But that for me was when like my name started getting thrown around a lot. It was after that. But before that, by the way, I really didn't have, and I had won a Silver Cup the previous year, which was a big deal. But going into that, even after being the #1 manager in the country the previous year, like I remember telling people, guys, in January that we were going to go out and break the record, and like people laughed in my face. Like not just like random people, like the top managers in the company. Like I told them like, yeah, we're going to break the branch record. And I had like, Brian Hurlman, and I had a couple other people that I also have a lot of high respect for sit me down and basically tell me how it's just not possible. It's not going to happen. And also, if I'm doing, because I also had my hands like in I was doing like multiple other things at the time too. And he's like, especially if you're doing all this stuff, like I'm just telling you right now, like you're not gonna be able to pull off something like this. I think you don't just double your numbers from one year to last year without, preparing the right way. Like it's just not going to happen. And I share that with you guys because of this. Look, that summer, it didn't really, I didn't really give a shit what other people thought. It didn't really matter who told me we weren't going to break the record because I was so confident. I already knew we were going to hit it. Like I could have told you in March, April, January, February, literally June, July, at any point in time in the summer that we were going to break through the record. It wasn't even a question in my mind. It was undoubtedly because I was so attached to the vision. And by the way, that vision was never about breaking the record. That vision was about impacting more people in Miami than we'd ever had before. And it was about doing something that had never been done before. It was about getting a badass team together and helping them tap into their potential to create something that had never been seen before, in the Miami area, right? It was about doing something that different than anyone's ever done it before. And that's exactly what we did. Our team was freaking badass and baller. And we had a team that they were all just as fired up. They were also connected to their same vision. Everyone was on the same wavelength. Eddie De Las Cuevas, all the other assistant managers that were in that office at that time were also all connected to the same vision. And I share that with you guys as an example because when that happens is like that's an example, by the way, in my time and in my life where, me and all the people around me were way more connected to vision than almost anything before. And when that happens, extraordinary things that other people can't really wrap their heads around happens. And I'm sharing this with you guys because during this push period, look, it's important for y'all to hear this. Some of you all are not going to have the push that you want. Some of you all are not going to hit your goals for the push. I'm just going to tell you right now. That's just how it's going to happen. Some of you all are going to are going to amaze yourself during this push. You're going to do things that you could not have even imagined. Weeks ago, you wouldn't have even imagined were possible. Some of you all are going to hit your goal and it's going to happen the strangest way. Your goal is 20K and you sell 10 of that, you sell half of your push in the last 2 days of the push, and it happens, right? Kind of like a Tyler last night, he sold over half his fast start in the last couple hours of Monday night, after working for 10 days straight to hit the goal. And that's going to happen for some of y'all. What I'm sharing this with you is because the purpose of the push is not to hit your goal. Although you should have a damn goal and you should be excited about hitting it and you should do everything and you should convince yourself and visualize and believe that you're going to hit that and have proper expectations. But the purpose of the push is not to hit the goal. The purpose of the push is putting yourself through the process and helping you become more of the person that you're here to become. That's the purpose of the push. And I think when you get committed and when you can really get attached to a vision that's powerful, that's motivating, that's inspiring, okay, that's when during the push, look, the team that's going to do the best, guys, is not the team that has the highest skill set. Although I still think we're going to go over skill set today. You should, make sure you're buttoned up, have your fundamentals down. Yes, you should get a lot of names and numbers. Yes, you should ask for bigger orders. Yes, we should, increase our average order of this group. All that stuff's going to happen. But, like I said, the team that wins is the team that has the most committed alliance, not the biggest alliance. The team that has the most committed alliance, that's most aligned and most connected to their vision, those are the people that are going to do things and do crazy shit that the company's never seen before. Those are the people that everyone's going to go all out for the push, but those are the teams where the other teams are dude, what are they eating over there? What are they drink? What's in the water in Miami? What the hell are these kids doing? We're just things that don't really they don't make a lot of sense kind of happen when people are really strong and connected to that vision. And I can tell you guys that that's happened many times in my life. And I've done this enough times where I've seen it happen for people over and over and over again. And the really exciting part about this is that once you finish this push and it's no longer a Cutco push, right? You take that information, you take that vision, you take the same stuff that you gain and you take it on, by the way, into the fall, into TLA, or you take it on to something else bigger and better for yourself. But the things, the way that you're growing and developing is going to remain with you throughout this stuff. So I want to walk you all through a quick exercise here to kind of help you guys tap into, a little bit of that vision. And what we're going to do is I'll give you guys a kind of an example here in a second. But to kind of walk you all through the exercise, I want to help connect you all to that North Star. I want you to think down, and I would maybe write down your notes right now. What is something that would really inspire and fulfill you, right? We're going to think a little bit about, and you don't have to necessarily journal it now, just kind of write down that question. What's something that would really inspire and fulfill you? And I want you to think about, this is called the impossible moment. Okay, the impossible moment. And I want to help connect you all to a moment in the future, right? And I want you guys to think about something that almost seems impossible. Meaning something that feels so big, so grandiose, so kind of out there even though kind of it is possible, it seems so big that it basically seems impossible. It seems like, okay, that'd be exciting, and it almost seems like an impossible moment, right? I want to give you guys permission to think really, really big. It might help you if you connect to a goal first, but what is like maybe an impossible moment, for you? And then we're going to look at the version of yourself that could make that happen. So, I'll give you guys a kind of a personal example, and you want to think about a moment, right? An impossible moment might be, if I want to be a music artist and I want to, perform and play my guitar, and my impossible moment is, I'm on a stage at a music festival and I am jamming out on my guitar in front of 50,000 people, and I'm up there doing my thing, and it is one of the best concert performances that any of these people have ever connected to or seen before. That's my impossible moment. It might be, hey, my impossible moment is, the day I become a billionaire, right? And who am I going to help, and what's the impact that I'm going to have, and who's going to gain from that process, and who's going to be a part of that. And I know some of you guys, you don't have to get started just yet, by the way. I'm just giving you all some examples here. I know some of you already get diving in, which is cool if you are, but hold off on starting just yet. If the juices are flowing, then I'll let you do your thing. Here I'll give you guys, by the way, my personal example. Cool. So for me, my vision or my impossible moment, and here's what I'm going to share with y'all, because I don't really have mine fully mapped out, right? And I think what's important here is, like, as I'll say this too, it doesn't need to be the thing. It just needs to be something. Meaning, you don't have to figure out like your life's purpose right now. Okay, you don't have to be like, I figured it out. This is what I'm here to do. This is my purpose in the world and life. Okay, you don't need to figure out like the thing you're meant to do. You just need to find something, a thing that is inspiring enough to excite you of who you're here to become. Right. So for me, mine's not even fully crystallized for me yet. But my impossible moment involves me being in some sort of, position of leadership over, a nation or a group of people or an organization or some company. I don't really know exactly what the position would look like, but it involves me having to make, a choice or decisions that are a decision that would change the course of human history, right? That would be a world-changing decision. Like, that's the impossible moment. So, and I'm sharing this with you as an example because you really want to kind of iron it down to, like, can you think about like the moment? Like, maybe the story is, I'm a successful guitar player, world famous guitar player, but like, what's the moment? The moment is I'm on stage playing in front of 50,000 people, connecting with the crowd. Like, that's the moment that, like, the reality kind of comes true. So for me, it'd be, hey, it's having to make a decision that like impacts the world. And so that's something that's like, cool. I know it's possible for me. I know it's a potential is out there. And like, that's a lot, it almost is so much that kind of, to do something like that almost would seem impossible. But what it reminds me of and what it connects me to is who I would need to become in order to be that person in that situation. Who would I need to become? Well, I would need to become somebody that, number one, has a lot of wisdom, right? Someone that has probably made a ton of choices and decisions in their lifetime. Someone that's made a lot of wrong decisions and choices and messed up a lot of times. Someone that is incredibly probably grounded. Someone that is very spiritually connected to be able to, if they're making decisions that are impacting the entire course of the world. It's somebody that is well regarded by others, and also someone that kind of also doesn't really care what other people think. Somebody that has good leadership skills, someone that is able to have a good counsel around them. Like, these are the things that I'm thinking about. All right, cool. Who would I need to become in order to be that type of person? And once I have a better idea of connecting to that, like, hey, here's my vision. Here's who I need to show up as. Right? Like, my daily choices and daily decisions are like, am I Am I doing the things today? Like, cool, is this in line with that person that I need to become? And the last question that I would be asking yourself is kind of after you go through that, what's your North Star? Who would you have to become, right? It's how can you become more of that person during this push? Why does that version of you need to be all in, during this push? Beyond the money, beyond the experience, beyond the significance and recognition, the most valuable part of this push is who you become through the process. So for me, and my example here, right? Like I need to be all in and 100% committed during this push, because if I'm going to be a leader that is impacting and guiding, hundreds of thousands, well, shoot, I need to be able to do it here first. I need to be able to do it at the Cutco Knife Job. If I'm gonna lead a country or lead an organization of people or a major company, well, then I need to be able to do it with the 25 people that are on my team right now here. I need to be able to lead by example. I need to be able to put myself through the exact same experiences that they're going to be able to go through. So it's relatable and I can empathize with other people and where they're at right now. It's important for me to be all in, because if I can't commit to this, how can I commit to a lifelong legacy of living in the way I need to live my way to connect to my vision? It's important for me to be all in during this push, because like I said, I got to practice wisdom and counsel and leadership and inspiring others. And, this is an opportunity, an avenue for me to develop my skill set, but actually give it all my best and be 100% present with who I'm supposed to be during this push. Like that is why I have to be all in for this push for me to be connected and on that path towards that vision. So I'm giving you guys a quick version of this. I'm trying to just kind of give you guys a taste of like maybe what this kind of experience and exercise would be for me. It's going to be different for everyone. And again, you don't have to find like the thing. You just have to find a thing, right? Or something that is, inspiring and motivating and encourages you on how you're supposed to show up throughout the process here too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll put this, I'll copy this and I'll post it into the group chat. Okay. And we'll take a little bit of time to kind of journal in on this, and then we'll share a little bit of a couple people chime in and stuff like that too. So the first thing I would be asking yourself is, what's your North Star and what your vision is? And I'll put down here North Star / vision and possible situation, right? Second question is, who would you have to become? What's your North Star? What's your vision? Who would you have to become? And how can you become more of that person during this push? Why does that version of you need to be all in during the push? And I'll go ahead and post that up there too. So 3 short questions, but I would journal on it for a little bit. We're going to get, I don't know, I'll probably give everyone like 10, 15 minutes to kind of just work on this. And I'm going to kind of keep explaining it as we go. I know some of you guys kind of already got started, but I'm going to keep up some music. And by the way, if you have a notebook, it'd probably be a good idea. Just you're going to want to push notebook, by the way. So either you want one specific place in your notes, but I like to do, when we're doing a lot of journaling, I think pen and paper is honestly better than doing it on the computer for a lot of this stuff. So I would encourage you to go out and buy a journal or buy a notebook or something like that too, that you can use, that you can have as like your SC2 Alliance journal and takeaways. Because I can tell you one thing for a fact is, like a year, 2, 3 years down the road, you might want to look back on this thing and kind of some of your journal entries and stuff like that too, as you're going through it. So let's take, I don't know, let's take 10 minutes or so. We'll walk through this. I'll keep walking you guys through the exercise, but you can go ahead and get started on it in your notes here. So to make sure, guys, I would make sure you're probably writing down either on a journal or, like, worst case scenario, I would do it on the actual computer. I wouldn't do it on like a phone or anything like that though. Somewhere where you can either type out the notes is like second best, or write it out in like a journal space. And somewhere where you can kind of keep them organized, because we're probably going to keep adding on to this throughout the push. North Star and vision. What's something that would really like inspire and fulfill you? Give yourself permission to think like really, really big here. If anything was possible, what would be that impossible moment for you? And you can think of a goal first, but the real juice is connecting to like a specific moment within it. That moment may feel impossible, but you're going to look at the version of what version of yourself could make that vision a reality. You don't need to see.
If there were no rich, no poor, if everyone were equal, religion would be soon to disappear. People only develop religion when they're unhappy with this world.
Maybe your vision is helping out people in need or helping starving children in another country. What kind of example would you have to be to others? Maybe you have a financial goal. What can you do with that money? Who are the people that you can help? Who can you impact? How much can you buffer up your vision and get it detailed? Who would be impacted by that? Who would be helped by you being in that moment, by you achieving that vision? Why does it matter? You know, like what if anything is possible, right? If anything is possible, if you could do literally anything, what would that look like for you? Right, and as you're working on that vision, try to get as much down on paper as you can, details. What does it feel like? What does that moment feel like to you? Who's there in that moment with you? Right? Is there family? Is there friends? Is there specific people? Who's being impacted by that? What happens because of that moment? What else happens in history or in time or in your family or in your life or in your relationships because of that moment? And what's something that feels impossible? Like what's something that feels like, you know, maybe it's possible, but like give yourself permission to really think bigger than you've ever thought before. What's something that you know you would say out loud and other people would kind of call you crazy for it or think it's just spectacular thinking? Why is it important? Why does it matter? And some of y'all might be still working on your vision. You can keep working on that. Once you get done with that, right, who would you have to become? Describe the qualities about yourself, right? That vision is impossible or seems impossible, but if it was possible, what version of yourself would have to be the one doing that? What version of yourself is in that moment? Who would you have to be if that was actually a reality? that impossible moment, who would you have to be? Who would you have to become? What qualities does that person have? What experiences have they had in the past? Who are they? Who do you know? How do you show up? How do you live your life? What qualities does that person, that version of you have? Who do you need to become? Take as much time as you need to kind of connect to what that vision is for yourself. And then again, who would you need to become? Who are you being here calm? Who are you being called here to be? Take your time. Once you finish the first two, you can go to the last one, which is that version of yourself that you describe, who you would have to become. Why does this push matter? Right? Why does that version of you that can achieve that vision, why does that version of you that is the person that could create that impossible moment, why does that version of you need to be all in during this push? How can you become more of that person through this push, through this process? How can you become more of that person in this push? Right, what's my North Star? What's my vision? Who would I have to become? And why does this push matter? Why is that version of myself counting on me to show up and be all in on this push? Why does me giving my best during this push actually matter? What are the aspects of you that you want to become more of during the push? Who's the man or woman you have the opportunity to become during this push, and why does it matter? If you don't get time to get to 4 or 5, that's fine, but you're kind of done. I would, if you already have an idea of like who I could become during the push, why is it important for me to be all in during this push? I would ask yourself some other questions. Number 4 is like, how does that version of you respond when you have an awful day? Right? So how does that version of you respond when you have an El Succo day during the push and you did 6 demos and sold nothing? Why does that happen during the push? How does that version of you respond? I would write on that. I would write on how does that version that you're here to become of you respond when you have an epic day, right? When you sold way more than you were expecting to on that day, how do you respond? When you want to quit and you feel like giving up, how does that version of you respond? When you're leading from your values, you're going to see things through the lens of who I am committed to become through this push, how I'll respond to this challenge, right? If that's the person you're here to become, how will you show up during the phone game? You ask for larger orders and more referrals than you ever have. What risk will you be taking in handling objectives? Not just rolling over in the conversation. When you have your worst day, how am I going to respond? Come back even stronger and bring out more of your greatness because of that. You know, when you show up that way, you create the greatest results. Take another 1 minute for everyone to kind of finish wrapping up here. All right. Just you guys are working on that still. What we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to hop into some groups and share a little bit of share with 2 or 3 other people kind of what's the vision that you connected to, and those questions. Who are you here to become? What qualities would that person have to have? And why is it important for you to be all in during this push for that? Let me get maybe 1 or 2 people to share before we go into groups. I want to share a little bit of I'll have Adrian. Why don't you share with us a little bit about your vision, your North Star here for the group, and then we'll hop into groups here. And I'll let some other people share with the whole group when we come back.
Yeah. So for me, my vision North Star is really just my impossible moment is just being in a leadership role where I'm able to impact lives of not hundreds but thousands of individuals, obviously for the better, and able really just to leave a legacy in whatever I do in the future, no matter what it's in. specifically the qualities that I would need to see myself having, in order to be able to do that, is really just being a better leader, someone who strives for growth and impact and being able to improve myself every single day. Someone who can overcome the hardest challenges and really do it in the way of a leader and being able to serve as an example to others. And also someone who's unforgettable, someone who changes the energy in rooms, changes the excitement in rooms. And reason why I have to be all in the push, I've done it 3 times already, or second going on third time, but in this time it's a little bit different for myself. But what reason why I want to be all in is because really being all in during the push, it's important because it really allows me to figure out who I can become as a leader, and really how well I show up through challenge and adversity. And also will allow me to see how well of a leader I can be, and how well I can be at making tough decisions, even when I might not want to do it, or maybe when it's harder to kind of make those decisions here. But that's really what I got out of this specifically exercise.
Awesome. And love that. I think there's opportunity, right, is probably crystallizing, you know, and even like I said, even mine was an example too, probably crystallizing that moment more, you know, how much more specific can you make it, you know? And I think that's like, so you have kind of like the overall like cloud and feeling of it, like kind of what it looks like. And like, you know, my encouragement to you is throughout the push, can you get that to a place where you feel almost like it's more like the moment is kind of crystallizing in your mind of like, I know I got there when this happens, you know, I know what I'm thinking about right now. Like when this moment happens, like, you know, that's when I know, like, yeah, I'm here, you know, that happened. That was the moment there too. So awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, and thanks for being, sharing vulnerably here in front of the group. You know, and I also want to, speak to Adrian here, you know, and like, just say like, you know, anything that y'all are going to go through and experience, we're going to go through an experience as managers. You know, y'all might not hit your goals. We might not hit our goals in office. You know, y'all are going to have some pretty frustrating moments and time periods throughout the push. Adrian's going to have some pretty frustrating moments and times throughout the push and have a lot of, you know, adversity and bullshit thrown in his way, you know? And by the way, too, just so you guys know, like, you know, being honest, like we've had a lot of that this whole summer. You know, we've got a great and epic team now, but we've had a ton. Adrian's had to deal, and all of our staff has had to deal with a ton of, you know, adversity and challenge throughout the way. And we had a lot of big goals, you know, going into the summer. And to be honest, you don't always hit all the goals, right? We have expectations too. I want us to be chasing after those goals. But, you know, like I said, the reality is it's not about hitting the goals. It's about, you know, who are we here to become and what is the experience that we need to have this summer. So thanks, Adrian, for chiming in and sharing on that. Here we're going to do, I'm going to split you all up into groups. Okay. So I encourage you to, as you guys go through this, it's going to be random. Okay. So I'll put in, I don't know, it'll probably be about 3 people or so per group. And I just encourage you guys to go ahead in your groups, and each of you share. We'll go around the horn, all 3 people. And share again, what's your vision? What's kind of something that you connected to? And again, it doesn't need to be all detailed and buttoned up. Some of y'all are going to have like, I'm going to excited for some of y'all, like I think during this exercise might've just been like, dude, I feel like I connected. I got it. Like, I feel like I kind of have a good sense of like what I want to even do in the world and here in my life. And then y'all, it'll just be kind of like, it'll be fuzzy. You know, it'd be like, I have an idea and a good sense of it, but here's what I know. Here's who the person I'd have to become is. Here's how to show up in the push. And the last 2 things is like, you know, walk through some, hey, when this happens, how would I respond? When this happens, how to respond? Last thing to share with your team is what your goal is for the push. So I'm going to put you all with other people. You might have already met these people before. You might have never met them, right? But I encourage you to try to be open and vulnerable. Like, this is going to be a tight-knit group, all right? There's a circle of trust, okay? There's a circle of trust in this group, and what happens here stays here. It's part of the alliance. This is not going to be shared with the rest of the team. And like I said, like, you're going to build, I think, really valuable and strong connections and relationships with a lot of people in this group. So you might just be paired up with someone random that you've never talked to, but also that might be someone that like you have a great relationship with and it continues on beyond this push, or someone that you want in your corner. So I think it's been good, as much circles of influence as you guys can build and connect with each other. And there's not a lot of times to do this because we're oftentimes we're virtual. So everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Just listen to me or Adrian speak. So the more that I can get you guys a chance to connect with each other, the better here too. So I'm going to go ahead and create all the rooms. And some managers will be in some, others they won't. And I'm just going to go ahead and open up, and y'all can kind of facilitate and go through a round. And we'll give everyone probably 10 minutes to share in a group, and I'll come back and have a couple people share in front of the entire groups here. So go ahead and join your groups. And I'll probably pop around as we continue here. Jonathan. Yo, go join your group, bro.
Yeah, I just stepped out to the bathroom.
Oh, you're good. I thought you just weren't going to join the breakout room. You're join the you're with those people right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear about that later.
Yeah,
All right.
good combo.
All right, cool. So coming on back, I'd be curious to know, and I know everyone got a chance to share with their group. We don't have to have everyone share right now, but I'd like to have a couple people that feel like they, connected to something that maybe is powerful, or they have a vision, or also even if maybe something was inspiring that they heard someone else share. We can share that a little bit here too, but we'll take number one, I guess. Yeah. Any volunteers first that, who wants to share?
I guess I'll share.
Cool. Is that is Sydney going right now?
Yes,
Yeah, I was actually just about to call out Sydney to share, but go ahead.
Yes, take it away.
So I was actually talking to Jonathan about this yesterday, how I never knew what I wanted to do with life. I never really set goals, never did that stuff. But when I was writing down, it took me a while to get there. But my goal, my North Star, is to just redesign the prison industrial complex and whatever that may look like for the future. But I want to have some sort of impact in the way that prisoners are treated, if how all that works, because right now it's literally slave labor, and that's not cool. So that's something I really want to do. And the way to get there, that person is confident. She knows what she's doing. She doesn't apologize for what she says. She's smart. And so to be able to become that version of myself now to help people, do my all in the push,
Yeah.
doing my all in the push will help me transfer that, because like if I'm able to help people in their kitchen life, then I'm going to be able to help them in their real lives, and like being able to understand and communicate. And yeah, I don't know if that made sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much. Let's give some snaps and claps for Sydney for sharing. Yeah, takes some, by the way, confidence and not apologizing for what other people think to be able to go out there and do that. So it's exciting to see you already stepping into that, and that, you know, idea of basically what prison reformation, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that you feel like strongly connected to, and something that feels inspiring, and also really like a tall task for you to be able to
It's
take
a really
on?
tall task. That's why it's like the big all and be all. Like, I'm not even sure if I want to go to law school, but if I do end up doing that, I'm gonna have to go to law school. So it's kind of like we'll see where things go. But I've like met kids from volunteering and stuff whose like dads were in jail for like really no good reason, and it just like hurts me so much to see like little girls being like, it just hurts my heart so much. Like, I want to be able to help. That's the biggest thing for me. So
Awesome. Thanks, Cindy, so much for sharing. And also too, to ask you guys a follow up, that version of you, right, that you're looking to become during this push, or that you're looking to become more of, how does that version of you respond or show up when you have, I don't know, how does that version of you show up when you have an awful day, and you have a day where you go out and do 6 demos and no one buys anything from you, and it's just basically nothing short of being awful? How does that version of you respond then?
She would take a bath with some candles and essential oils and relax and know that tomorrow is a new day. So
Awesome. Oh yeah, I love that. Cool. Let's give another round of snaps and claps here for Sydney. And by the way, some of y'all, it might be able to connect to something very, very specific like that and tangible in the moment. Even Sydney, I think the almost the encouragement here too is like, how more crystallized can you make that, right? So if the idea is maybe, hey, reforming, you know, the prison system in America, is there what's like the moment almost where like, okay, when this happens, I know like I did it, or like when I see this, or when this happens, or when I sign off on this, or where is it? If you can connect more like what that moment would be like, that's exciting too. And by the way, even then, like to Sydney's point, it's less about actually, again, attaining the vision, although, you know, your vision is a goal and it should be something that you're probably working towards attaining and getting, but it's less about really achieving like that specifically, and more about who it inspires Sydney to become and show up as, and the impact and the way that she's going to show up in the rest of the world, because that's the potential that she has. So awesome. We'll get like 2 more shares here. So let me have somebody else, and managers might have you type in. Jonathan, I'm going to hold off on you here. Brett, I can have you share in a second. Yeah, sure. I'll call on Alex. He seems eager.
Let Tyler go first if you want to wait on the managers.
Sure. Let's have another non-manager go. Tyler, you want to go?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, why not? Okay. All right. So I've never actually thought about this before. Well, I mean, I've written down my goals many times, but something like to this degree, I've never really thought of. And I think it is attainable if I, you know, really put 100% in. But the impossible situation is becoming the first quadrillionaire. So being known around the world as someone who has built multiple trillion-dollar businesses, using that fortune to drastically change planet Earth, seeing a very noticeable positive impact on humans in the community, leaving a legacy behind after death, going down in the history books. Another thing just that I noted as well is over time, my goals will increase. You know, I'm not going to stop there. I'm not going to hit that. I'm not going to just be like, all right, I'm good. You know, I said it, like, I'm going to have more goals over time. So I want to make sure I'm hitting those as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put every ounce of effort and thoughts into achieving that moment. So I can hit that moment.
Before you go into who you need to become, I'd be curious. I want to ask you a couple questions around that too. So That's a pretty big, pretty big moment, right? Being
Yeah.
the first ever quadrillionaire. You talked about. I love the specificity of it too. You know what that would probably mean is that you'd have to have created multiple trillion-dollar businesses. You know that henceforth is probably impacting and changing the world, because if you run a trillion-dollar business, that's probably what's happening. It's definitely got some global market share there. What for you, Tyler? Like, how does that, when you say that out loud, how does that feel like in your body?
Well, I'm not really used to quadrillion. I've always just said I want to be a trillionaire. But like I got to push more, and so quadrillionaire, it's a little bit, nerve wracking, just like thinking about it, because when I say I want to do something, then I'm like, okay, I want to hit it. Like, so I'll do anything in my possibility. Like if I say it, then I have to do it. Like mentally, I have to put as much effort as I can into doing it. Like I said, I wanted to do 20K for my first fast start, and I only hit 10K, which, kind of bothered me, but like I actually honestly I did put every like hour of every day for these past 10 days actually into just work. So I mean, I think I have to develop my skills more as well. I think that's what I'm lacking. I'm also, I have a hard time closing. I think that's my biggest problem right now. But I think over this next week and like for the push coming up too, I'm gonna have a better skill set. So I have the mindset. I know I have the mindset. So
Cool.
I just gotta.
And when you connect to that vision, by the way, right? If you're a quadrillionaire, multi-trillionaire business runner, what's the scale? Like how many people, who's going to benefit from that when Tyler becomes a quadrillionaire? Who else is going to be impacted? Who else is going to benefit from that?
Yeah, a lot of the people that don't get opportunities, I wanna give more people opportunities. I think a lot of people don't realize that they can be successful. I think a lot of people just, I see a big problem with parenting. A lot of times the way that kids are raised by their parents, it kind of impacts how they grow. So if I can kind of be almost like a parent figure to some people, it's a lot of younger people. I want to open up my own schools as well. I think having my own schools would be really cool. And just teaching people that, they can be successful. They can go for these big goals. They can hit these big targets that they think are unattainable. That really, I mean, if they want it bad enough, if you want something bad enough, you can hit it, like even if it seems impossible. I want people to know that. So that's why I like working with you guys, because you push me, so I like.
Yep. And why is it important for you to go all out for this push in order to help you like develop into that person? And actually before that, like who's the type of person that you would have to be if you're actually achieving that, right? Yeah. You're the first person in the world to ever do something like that. You're literally running the world essentially with your company's businesses. What qualities and attributes would you have to have? Who is that? Right,
so
Tyler?
I mean, I have like spectacular habits. Every little habit that I have is just, I've fine-tuned it perfectly. I know an extremely large amount of people, and when I say people, I mean more like successful people and other people that are just going to help me grow as well. I have absolutely excellent leadership, organizational skills. I'm just someone who puts 100% of their efforts into growth and success. And I have tons of wisdom, and I have a really amazing mindset. I'm confident in my mindset now, but I know that I have tons of, I'm probably only like 2% there, but I know that I'm slowly increasing my mindset and, just like looking at things in a better way over time.
Awesome. And why is it important for you to go all out for this push in order for you to help become and bring those things closer to you?
Yeah, so I need to prove to myself, this is the main thing, that I can hit the goals that I set, like I can be number one if I want it bad enough. When I want to quit, I push through. I think, Luke Maseko, he said, remember tomorrow. I actually like that quote. And I just want to do that kind of thing, like think about tomorrow, like tomorrow I'm going to look back and I'll be like, like I did it. So, but I think that every day, so it continues on, on and on and on. And as a high performer, after the push, after I hit my goal, okay, my goal is 40K, but like, honestly, I'm going to be pushing to hit the record. I want to hit the record. Like that's kind of, I want to beat the record. So, I mean, realistically 40K, it makes more sense, but I'm going to go for that. As a high performer, people will notice me, will give me more opportunities and chances to meet some other amazing people. I want to meet a lot of nice people that are gonna, kind of aid me in my growth.
Well, you're gonna have to meet a lot of people if you're going for the record. I'll tell you that. So
Yeah.
awesome. Let's give snaps and claps here for Tyler. Thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for being vulnerable here a little bit. And also, I encourage you guys as we're going to this. You know, one thing I'm gonna say for the alliance meetings is that like I really encourage you guys to be like as engaged in other people and them sharing as you would want other people almost when you are, you know, because I think there's a lot of power in like having a collective group of people that like, and I know it's a little bit different because we're all connecting in different places, you know, but like I encourage you, like how present can you be as other people are sharing here? Because I think a lot of times, like, you know, especially if you're not really feeling 100% like really connected to that vision yet. Like some people might share and it's like boom, boom, boom. You know, they know exactly what they want. It's like, damn, I wish I could have that. But what happens is when you're really present, open to receiving from others and hearing from them, a lot of times, like that's why we form this group, right? Because that inspiration, that channeling, that connectivity to their vision, a lot of times can be what inspires you to connect more deeper to your purpose and your vision. So let's get one last share. Maybe anyone else want to share? Or I know Alex was raising his hand earlier. Anthony, you want to share real quickly? I'll have Anthony share now because you can share a little bit more. Yeah, Anthony, go ahead and chime in, man.
So I'm not going to be like Tyler shooting for that. That was awesome, Tyler. I appreciate that. But something I'm not 100% sure on what I want to be, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I do have an idea of what it would be like to be that person. I don't know what I want to be, but I know what type of person I want to be. And I want to be an impactful person. Okay, I'm a very social guy. I love meeting new people, and I love helping people out. I was always raised to help, okay? And I even tell my customers, and some people thought that was funny, but I tell them, I don't care if I make a cent. I just want to help you get the best set of knives in your kitchen because I know the difference that it makes, okay? Because my mom hates cooking, and I know the difference that it's made in her kitchen. And I just want to be able to help as much as possible. I never knew that I would have enjoyed sales like I do now. It was the last thing on my mind to be a salesperson, especially for knives. But I see the impact that I've had in other people. Just yesterday, 2:00 in the morning, I'm crying with this random guy because of the goals that each of us were sharing with each other. And I got a really good relationship with him. And that's really what I want to do. I want to impact as many people as possible, be a light to others whenever they don't feel like they can be, or if they're not good enough for these type of things, and help out as much as possible. And you mentioned something that I felt was really cool. One of the reasons why I want to push so bad for this SC2, I've never really done something 100%. If I'm going to be honest with myself, I've never really put 100% in anything that I've ever done. I might do 90, 95, but I want to put everything that I can into this so I can help not only my mindset in knowing that I can do what I know I can do, but to help as many people as possible in this 2-week period. So then if I decide to continue in sales, if I decide to continue in whatever I do, I can honestly say that I left doing my best. And that's what I feel is most important.
I love that, Anthony. Let's we can give some snaps and claps to him. And a couple questions I had for you too. So like one thing I heard you say, I just want to echo to you, is you talked about impacting others and being able to be a light, right, to others. So I guess the question that I'll challenge you is when you see other people, right, during the push that are struggling or that aren't having the results that they want, right? Or if it's maybe that's you, right? And maybe you're the person that's struggling, not having the results that you want, or you see someone else doing that, right? How during the push are you going to show up and be a light to other people in this alliance and a part of this group?
A light to other people. Actually, what I've been doing, a few people here might testify, but I reach out to at least one person in every Champions Club meeting, at least one. and I try to interact with them, and I ask them if they ever need help, if they want to be able to schedule a meeting with me to be able to do. I even have like set on my calendar a few people that I'm going to show a meeting to, like Andrew's like raising his hand and things like that.
Nice,
So
nice.
I try reaching out to others because I feel I'm always the type of person to learn more when I teach. And
Yep, as all people are, by the way.
it reminds me to do what I already know. So it's not a matter of what I need to learn. It's a matter of what I already know. What am I going to apply? So I try reaching out to as many people as possible, at least one in every meeting that I'm in. So then I can be able to help them out in any way that they are, or maybe get some of their help and things like that, push to have that circle of influence to make me a better individual in whatever I do. So.
Awesome. And you also talked about Anthony giving 100% and talked about how you've never really given 100% to something, and why it's important, for you to really like experience that and give yourself an avenue or an opportunity or vehicle to give yourself 100%, give 100% during the push. So let me ask you this: when it's like, I don't know, it's the first Sunday of the push and everything's going, awful. You're having the worst day ever with phone calls. You've made 80 calls and only booked up one demo right now. Yeah, that would suck, right? Made 80 calls, only booked up one demo, right? How are you going to respond in those types of moments, in that moment, if you have a phone jam, if you know that who you're here to become is someone that is able to give like your 100%? How are you going to respond in those moments?
How would I respond in those moments?
What does giving 100% and leaving it all on the table really look like in those moments?
Making another 80 calls. No, something that I feel if I were to have made calls and only booked one, I would tell my parents that I'm going to go around my neighborhood and start asking people to book appointments.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that I can have more time and more demos to book, regardless if people answer or not.
How scale 1 to 10, how is it important for you to experience what it's like to give 100% during the push?
11.
Awesome. Does that feel true to everybody else? Hey, Anthony, here's a question I have for you. If there's a moment during the push where myself or Adrian or Jonathan, and we see you and we feel like you're not giving 100%, you giving us permission to coach you in those moments and to let you know?
Yeah, no, and I'm super glad that Jonathan's my manager, if I'm going to be honest with you. He pushes me whenever I really need it. There are times that I slack. There are times that I'm not giving 100%. And I'm literally having him texting me like 11 o'clock at night, telling me, how many appointments do you have booked? Are you going to be in the meeting tomorrow? Let's do this. Come on, sell, make one more appointment. So I really do want that during this push, you guys bother the crap out of me. Okay, spam my phone, have me be the person that you're focusing on to help as much as possible. I want to maximize everything that I do, even when I feel I can.
Awesome. Let's give Anthony some snaps and claps here. Hey, we're gonna move on a little bit from the vision sharing. Jonathan, did you really want to share?
Yeah. Do we have a little bit of time?
Yeah, we got a minute or two. Go ahead and chime in.
All right, cool. So just to share some vision and just hearing everybody else, it's just been really, really inspiring as well too. One thing that would really, really inspire and fulfill me, so something similar to a lot of everyone's goals is just to impact a lot of people. I'll be honest with everyone. I started my junior year. When I came into this position, when I came into the office, although I was surrounded by really, really awesome people, I started with Adrian. Julia was in the office as well too. And Mr. Evans, I did not care about the people. I really was not there for the people at all. Listen, I was just collecting the checks and I was leaving. I was like that. I was really, really happy about that. But just over the time, being able to continue to work with an amazing group of people, it's really, really opened up my eyes. I know what it's done in my life as well. Just being under the leadership of Mr. Evans, someone that I look up to, and strive to emulate as well too. And I want to be able to do that, give that to someone else, which is, you know, for anybody else who feels like that, I definitely would say branching is the best way to get that opportunity. I chose it. Listen, if you asked me if I want to be a branch, I would have told you no, hell no. But I mean, like, here I am, top 10 in the nation. You know, we're going to finish number 1. And I can honestly say that it's not even about the goal. It's not even about the money or the accolades, but realistically, it's just about being able to work with you guys, you know, being able to hear what everyone's goals are and hear how you guys have been. I mean, you guys haven't even gone through the SC2 push and you guys are like making breakthroughs. Like, imagine after the 3 weeks, like how much more you're going to grow as an individual. And that's really, really inspiring. That's what really, really gets me fired up as well too. And really just pushes me to wake up every single morning and go to bed like an hour later, to be able to serve an impact. And I know that's the same for me. I know that's the same for Adrian, Andrew, Alyssa, Julia, Alex as well too. I know that for me, leading our team to the number one spot this summer, the reason why we created that goal, as I said, is just because I truly believe in every single one of you. I believe that you guys, we all have the capability and the potential to do it. And I want to make sure that everyone reaches their goal, and not only just their goal or their potential. Because I know for some of you, I've looked at your goals, your potential is a lot higher. Okay. So I know that personally for me, I have to become the number 1 manager if I want to lead the number 1 office. You know, that's like trying to emulate Mr. Evans. He's like, that's really hard, but really try it as well too. Just trying to lead from a place of abundance versus a place of uncertainty, trying to better myself, reading and journaling every single day, making sure that I'm responsible and I have things in my schedule mapped out, making sure that I'm being 100%, because I know that when the leaders are 100%, then your team's going to follow suit. So I'll kind of cut it off there because I know we got to go into some next stuff, but I do want to say, like, just listening to all this, I appreciate every single one of you guys on this call, and I'm super excited because you guys don't understand, like, pound for pound, this group is probably the most studied SC2 Alliance group in the entire company, and we have exactly what it takes to break an all-time national record. So this is pretty exciting.
I agree. That's exciting. And thanks, Jonathan, for chiming in and sharing a little bit of that. And I encourage you guys, by the way, as we go through this, to keep trying to, like, connect and reflect on, like, what that vision is, what that North Star is for you, because that's what this push is really all about. Time to get into the fun stuff. Okay. So, you know, that's probably the first half of this call. Last hour and a half, I'm going to go through some, like, expectations, the calendar, the nitty-gritty details, what the push looks like, our systems, the rules for being a part of the alliance, okay, and all that good stuff. So, but I think I start off with, and we went over time on it, but I start off with the vision exercise because, quite frankly, you know, 2 things. Number 1, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have that North Star, if you don't have if you're not chasing after the person that you're going to be becoming, none of this really matters. You know, if you haven't walked yourself through these scenarios, when you want to quit during the push, you will quit, right? When you feel like giving up, you will give up. Unless you've already kind of walked yourself through why it's important to not do that, right? Why it's who you need to show up during this push as, and who you're becoming, because that will make it easier to navigate through the good, the great, the bad, the ugly, you know, and you'll have more confidence as you go through that. Second thing is that, you know, what really matters is not the skill set and the goals and all the other things too. If you don't have a vision, you know, that's what's going to give you the extreme results here. So I'm going to go through the calendar. I'm going to go through some expectations. You're going to want to make sure that you get all the stuff down. This is probably a lot more heavy note taking as we go through this. I'm going to need everyone engaged here in this last hour and a half. So give me a thumbs up if you're ready to rock and roll here. Cool. Do we need to take a 5-minute break, by the way? Or we just rock through it? You guys want to take a 5-minute break? All right, let's take 5 minutes. It's 11:10. Let's reconvene at 11:15. So just in case anyone needs to use the restroom, do your thing. Let's take 5 minutes, and 11:15 we'll restart. Let's do it.
far can I go from the edge of what I know? And if I go back, could it ever be the same? Oh, the wind, it blows. Could you take me to the coast? Put me on a ship, I would just sail away. Moving on. New morning. Moving on. New morning. Moving on. New morning. Moving on. Moving on.
All right, everyone, come on back. Bring it back, bring it back. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm gonna go share the folder with you all. First off, share. Okay, here's your Alliance folder that you all have now. I would star this one. Let's see, where's the SC2 10K Alliance? Cool. If you click on that, it's going to bring you to a folder that we have, and we're going to have some documents that we're going to go through as we do this. Okay, so everyone, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to rock and roll. Quickly. Just make sure everyone's engaged. Looks like we're missing Nick, Ariana, and Harrison, and Sydney. So, I don't know, managers, text them real quickly. All right, I'm gonna rapid fire through some of this stuff. So I'm gonna walk you guys just through the schedule, the events, and the expectations, okay, during this actual meeting here. So let me go ahead and pull up this first. Okay, first things first is the, all right, let's make sure everyone's muted. All right, cool. All right, first things first is going through the calendar. So if you open up this and you hit the Alliance calendar, oops, it's a Pages document. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'll upload it, re-upload this as a export to Word document. And let me upload that one. Okay. So it should work on here too. I'm not sure if it's gonna format it correctly. All right, let me go ahead and go through the calendar first. You guys all see this? Okay. Cool. So a couple quick things as we walk through the calendar. And you guys are going to pull this up and follow along in your own notes or in your own calendar. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through the schedule, the expectations, and again, you're going to want to probably get some notes on this. So first things first is what matters right now. It's all about today's July 7th. Push starts in about 7 days on the 13th. All that matters is now until the 12th. Now until the 12th. Now until the all-day phone jam. Okay? Look, here's what you guys have to understand is that the majority of your push, it starts now. Like, your push is determined on the next, what you do over the next 5 or 6 days is going to determine how your push is going to go. Okay? The push does not start with the push starts. The push starts today. Coming out of this meeting. It's what you do over the next 4 to 5 days. And by the way, I'll just say this before I even continue. Look, the next 4 or 5 days are going to either make your push a lot easier or a lot harder. You know, you're going to be committed to either way. You're going to have to finish what you started either way. You're going to have to go big. You're going to have the goals. You're going to have to do the same amount of demos. So it's all about going into the push the right way. Okay, making sure the number one thing that's going to impact your pushes is how many demos you start the push with. Making sure that you have 20 demos or more going into the push. The example that I give people is, and a lot of you guys have some sort of push goal number, some sort of demo number, 50 demos, 75 demos, 100 demos, whatever that number is, okay, that you got to get completed. Well, here's the deal. You're going to be making phone calls every single morning during the Alliance meetings. You're going to be making calls on the Wednesdays and Sundays. You're going to have time to book all those up. But the best thing to do is to get as many booked up before the push starts. Imagine it's kind of like, imagine you have a slingshot, guys, right? And you have a bunch of rocks and you have a target that you have to take down. Imagine it's like literally like a video game, okay? That target has a certain amount of health. That target is your sales goal or your demo goal. Every single rock you shoot at it, that's how many appointments you're doing. You know, the more, every time you do an appointment, boom, it's just going to shoot at that target and take it down a little bit more of its health over and over and over again until you've hit the goal. Well, guys, but before the game starts, before like the competition starts and you can start shooting as many rocks as you want it, you get an opportunity to take that thing and pull it back as far as you can possibly pull it for the first shot. Okay? That's what's happening right now before the push starts. Right? And that's going to, and I know that seems like small, but it's going to be a big difference because let's say you're both shooting the same target next to the same person. It's going to take the same amount of damage to hit your goal, to hit your target. But the first person has one that just knocks out half the damage off it off the first hit when they start the push. Well, boom, that person's way more ahead. You have to shoot twice as fast, twice as many, work twice as hard just to even catch up. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's like that's what the slingshot is before the push. You'll be able to book up a bunch of demos once the push starts. You know, we're going to be booking demos all the time. But if you are able to go, let's say your demo goal is 60 and you go into the push with 25, 30 presentations already booked, well, shit, that's half your appointments right there. You know, you only have to book 30 demos during the actual push. It makes your goal way more tangible, way more easy to hit when you're going into it with that already booked up. So it all comes down the next couple of days because two things matter. Number one is the phone jams on Friday and Saturday to make sure that you have 10 going into Sunday. And then Sunday's execution, the all-day phone jam. And then the other thing that's going to matter is like how many names and numbers do you have over the next couple of days? You know, how many names and numbers? Like that's what I'm saying is your push is starting like now because it's all going to be based off of like where you can start. If you start big, like even if you have 200 people on your attack list, even if you call all 200 of those people, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you go obliterate your list. Well, it doesn't matter because you're going to come out with 30 demos booked up in front of you. You go out and do those demos the first week of the push. You start strong. It makes it easier and more encouraging to keep going throughout the rest of the push because you got off to a strong start versus the opposite, which is like you got off to a terrible start. And then it's like, you know, it's kind of like doing a race and like you miss the start, you miss the takeoff. And it's like, you're just work. You can still win. It's an uphill battle. You know, you guys have seen probably Olympics before where that person, you know, had a false start and they won and recovered and made it at the end. But that doesn't usually happen, you know? So that's like, you don't want to like try to, all right, I'll just have a bad start and then try to recover. You know, it's like, no, get off to a strong start, shoot off out of the races, shoot off of the horses. And, you know, also when you do that, you're going to have way more recommendations going into the second week, a lot of positive momentum and fuel. You'll already have some sales underneath of your belt and you'll be feeling good. And you don't have to have a perfect start to have a good push. But I want you guys right now, until that happens, right, we'll reevaluate after we start. But up until now, all that matters is the start to the push. The start to the push, how many demos do you have leaving Sunday night this upcoming week? That's really what matters. So we have the local alliance meeting today. Outside of that, there's going to be, I have 3 workshops that are going to happen over the next couple of days. These are optional. Okay, make sure you know that these are optional. But I would recommend going to them. Okay, so these are optional workshops. You do not need to come, but they are for specifically our alliance. We'll probably open them up to the team for people that do want to come to them. But tomorrow we're going to have a local alliance workshop at 3:30 to go over the phones and go over the phone approach. By the way, a lot of alliances, that's what they're teaching during this meeting. I don't have time to do that. So, because we went through a lot of other stuff. So there's a phoning workshop at 3:30. So here's the deal. If you don't feel like confident in calling recommendations, booking recommendations, or confident in your recommendation approach, you should probably be there in that meeting tomorrow. If you feel really, really good about your phone skills, then you don't have to worry about it too much. Thursday is local alliance workshop meeting. Is on closing at 8:30, and then Rex 8:30 a.m. on Friday. Okay. Skills check completed. Most of y'all, ideally, if I get through this stuff fast enough, we're going to do some skills checks right now in this call. I'm probably not going to get to everybody. So, throughout today, tomorrow, and Thursday, you can do one, and you have to do one, a skills check with one of the managers, so that we have a grade here, A, B, A, or A, whatever. We're going to quiz you on all three of these. So we'll have that for every single person. Okay. In the actual drill for skill. Other things that are going on here in the schedule wise. Okay. Pre-push hit list. Here's the deal. It's momentum week. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Actually, whoops, I'm going to go right back to sharing my screen. So this week is momentum week. And I think I already uploaded the document. Nope, I didn't. So I'll go ahead and upload it now so you guys have it. And I will also send it into the group chat. So hot off the press, and a lot of you guys finished strong last week and got into the 4th of July contest there. I don't know how they can afford to do all these contests this year, but they are nonetheless, so take advantage of them. Check this out, okay? We're giving you guys the fire here. It's just July 7th to the 11th, which means I think that goes till Saturday. Saturdays include on this, not Sunday and not Monday, because that's basically already the push. But I'm going to give away a Homemaker +8 set, AirPod Pros, Beats by Dre, $350 Yeezy car, gift card. By the way, you guys hear Kanye's running for president? Okay. I don't know if anyone heard that, but yeah, Yeti cooler. It's official. iPhone 11 and a MacBook Air. All those are being given away. Here's how it works. Every 3 orders you put online is 1 chance into the drawing, not sales. So the orders can literally be $50, $100. Every 3 orders that you put online will be an extra entry. The reason we're doing orders and not sales is because I don't care if you sell $3,000 and you sold 1 complete set because you did 1 demo. That's not helping you build momentum for the push. Right. I mean, it is. And by all means, go out and sell $3,000, get some positive momentum. But what's helping you do momentum is do a lot of appointments, get a lot of recommendations. If you're turning in multiple orders, it means you're doing multiple demos, which means you're getting multiple sets of recommendations and building up some positive momentum before the push starts. So that's what I really want you guys to focus on. Don't worry too much about the sales. Worry about recommendations and how many orders can I get online. I don't care if the order is $50, $100, $200, $1,000, $2,000. How many orders can I put online? Okay. Every 3 orders that you put online is entry into this raffle, and y'all should definitely win some free stuff. Plus, by the way, I know a lot of you guys just won a bunch of free Cutco from the 4th of July contest too. So that should be nice. Anyone over $1,000 a week, and then we're gonna do the raffle here for all the Apple products in a little bit. So hopefully we'll have some people on our team that are winning some of that. This is up for grabs for you guys here too. So that's what we're focused on this week. As you guys go through the calendar and you go through the schedule, is just making sure that we're setting this up. And then there's 2 phone jams, okay, that are pretty important. So the workshops are optional. The phone jams are not. Here's what's important, okay? Sunday, and by the way, I think we're actually going to do because I'm going to have a guest speaker come through us. So I'm going to have the person that coaches me and a lot of other executives and business leaders in America. He's going to actually come on Sunday and help us kick off our phone jam. So this Sunday, it says on the calendar, 3:00. I'm going to probably start us a little bit early. I'm probably going to start us at 2:30 p.m. just for this group and this team. Everyone else is going to start at 3, but I want you guys to get a chance to hear and be impacted by him. So I'll probably start us a little bit early on this Sunday. But you want to make sure you're arriving with 10 and leaving with 20. The way that you ride with 10 is the 2 phone jams, which are which days, by the way? Which 2 days are we phone jamming to get the 10 set before we Sunday? Who knows?
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. Cool. So Friday's phone jam in the morning is going to be from like 9 to 11 a.m. Okay. So there'll be a local alliance workshop at 8:30, and then right after that workshop ends, everyone in the alliance should be jamming, on that morning. I'm not it depends if you have a 10K goal, maybe not, but especially if your goal is 15 or more, I mean, you got to make sure, again, if your goal is 15 or 20, you should be going into Sunday with 15 or 20 appointments. That's what I'd say. If my goal is 10K, I want to, before the phone jam starts on Sunday, I want 10 appointments already booked up. 15K, I want 15 appointments booked up already. 20K, I want 20 appointments booked up before Sunday comes around. Okay, that's how you ensure you get off to a strong start for the push. So there's 2 phone jams. It's Friday morning from 9 to 11, and then Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to noon. You know, you might not need to stay on for the entire phone jam, but you should be on for at least a portion of it until you've kind of made enough calls, or until you've hit your goal, until you've hit your 10 or whatever that number is. You know, so I'm going to be I'm less worried about the times of the jams, guys. I'm more worried about, do you have 10 demos going into Sunday? You know, heck, you can do it on your own time. You can start making calls Thursday. You can do them Friday afternoon and evening. But I will be texting you all and on top of you all like hawks for the next 5 or 6 days, asking you basically every single day, how many names and numbers do you have on queue now? How many names and numbers do you have on queue now? How about now? How about now? And the second question I'll be asking you is, how many orders have you turned online? Do we have any positive momentum? What have we done between now and Friday? How many orders are online? The third question is, how many demos do we have before the Sunday? How many demos do we have going to push right now? So really, guys, by the way, momentum week is right now. It's Tuesday to Friday. Once Friday hits, you're in the push mode. Yes, you can still go out and do some demos. Yes, you could still do some appointments. Yes, you could still build some more positive momentum and get more recommendations. But at that point in time, the push has already started. You're already like, it's phone jam all day long every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you start the push with like 30 demos booked up in front of you, or 20 at least. That's what I would be thinking, okay? So if demos turn in orders through here, jam day here, jam day here. I mean, I don't care if you sell $0 all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, I definitely would not do demos on Sunday. Spend the morning with your family, enjoy the time, take a chill pill, don't do demos Sunday morning, and then get ready to rock and roll at 3 o'clock. If in the situation, if you haven't booked up 10 demos before Sunday rolls around, I'm going to probably expect you to be on like the all day phone jam, which is like probably hopping on at 12 o'clock, because you're going to need to get like 15 demos booked up that day. I don't recommend that. And I don't think it's a good idea to try to like book up like 15 or 20 demos in one sitting. You can do that. It's just kind of intense and really long. And I would just rather chunk it out, you know, throughout the 3 days to make sure that it's a little bit easier to accomplish. Questions or comments on that? Cool. Next thing in the schedule is the Alliance meetings themselves. So as you guys know, the Alliance meetings are Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday at 7:30 to 9:30. And then on Saturdays, we do it at 8 a.m., just a little bit later. Okay. It's Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Here's the expectations. Okay. The expectations is that you guys are at every single meeting, unless it's been pre-approved, which we've pretty much done over with you, or you need to let us know by today, or just by today after the meeting. But every single one of those mornings, here's what I'll do. And we're going to go over the point system in a little bit, but that waiting room, I'm going to block it off at 7:31. Second, the clock hits 7:31, boom, the waiting room goes up. So anyone that's late is going to end up, in that waiting room. So we'll be marking it down because your team will lose points if you're late. And that's the whole thing, by the way. So here's what I'll say is we're going to have a team contest. You're going to gain points by selling, by getting recommendations, by doing different things and bonus points. You're going to lose points if you're ever late to a meeting. If you ever have a day where you don't, where you get 0 demos done, you're going to lose points for your team. Anything like that. So there'll be different ways you can lose points. And we do that because it's kind of fun. It gets a little bit of camaraderie going, get some excitement, some people like kind of competitive, but also like, it's not about the points. Like it's about showing up the right way. Like, it's not one of those things where it's like, well, I'll just be late to the meeting. I don't give a shit if my team loses points. Look, if you're like repeatedly late over and over and over again, I'm probably just going to take you off the Alliance. I do want this group to be a group that's like serious and I can hold accountable. So, by the way, guys, just to let you know, like I know 7:30 is early. And I also know that, like, by the way, for the past 8 years when I've done this, that this group is in the office physically by 7:30 every morning, which means you're there really by 7:25 a.m., which means you're like leaving your house dressed, suited up, suit and tie, dressed, suited up. Everyone's leaving by like their houses by like 6:45 a.m. to get to the office for that morning's jam, right? Which means they're waking up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. That's what most Alliances are typically like. So I know 7:30 is kind of early to some of y'all. It's really not early compared to what most other people in Alliances are. Here's my expectation, though. My expectation is that you show up on time and you show up ready and prepared. So you like waking up at 7:26 a.m., rolling over and like clicking the Zoom button at 7:30, that's not going to fly. Okay. I need you guys awake, alert, ready, dressed, whatever you need to do. So that afterwards, like you just need to start you're ready to start your day. Not like, oh, I'll go to the Alliance meeting and then I'll go ahead and get ready for the day and then I'll make some breakfast and get ready. Like you're ready to rock and roll at 7:30 a.m., feeling sharp, feeling bright. So I don't know I'm not going to say, hey, you need to wake up like 2 hours early, but you should probably be up by like 7 o'clock, most mornings. I'll just say that at the low one here too. So, and again, it's only for Sundays you can sleep in. I don't recommend doing demos on Sundays. Saturdays, we just do a little bit later because we don't have phone time. But the way the workshops will go, it's 7:30 to 8. It's just our local group. So that's my time with you all every morning. It's 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. At 8 a.m., one of two things is going to happen. Mondays and Fridays, we have a divisional call. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, it's the entire region. So at 8 a.m., we'll either hop on with the rest of the division, will join us, or we'll be hopping on with the region. And we have one of our CSPs, people that have sold, Andy Janti, $100,000 in 2 weeks. Susan Saunders, $100,000 in 2 weeks. They're going to be giving you guys the goods every single morning, which is going to be great. So you'll get a little bit of more like personal development, growth, alignment, purpose, perspective, 7:30 to 8. 8 a.m. to 8:30 will be a lot, usually Cutco skill set, helping you guys improve your skill set, take your results higher. 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. will be a time to like book up some more demos. And you want to be focused on booking up 2 to 3 demos, prepare to call 50 people, but probably just 20 to 30 calls most mornings is what you'll be looking for. 8:30 to 9:30, 10 a.m. is the first demo for most people those days. By the way, it's only 2.5 weeks. So really, by the way, what this looks like, guys, is just the 13th to it's just this week, and then the actual events on a Friday. So it's just Monday through Thursday, the following week. Wednesdays and Sundays, Wednesdays are completely as normal. And I know a lot of you guys come to Head Start Phone Jam. Here's my expectation for the Alliance during Wednesdays is that if you have a 4 o'clock demo booked, then you just go to your demo, right? If you have demos booked leading up to the phone jam, that's fine. Just never, ever book any demos during Sunday phone jams. Like don't ever book any demos during these times. Don't ever book any demos from 6 to 9:30 on Wednesday night during the pushes. If you have a demo booked at 4 o'clock, you do that demo. If you don't have a demo booked at 4 o'clock, I usually the Alliance should be on the phone jams earlier to try to book up more appointments for the next few days and keeping their schedules booked up. Okay, so it's like, hey, again, if you have demos booked up, just do your demos. If you don't, you just start the phone jam a little bit earlier that day. It walks you through also what typical slots are in, going on during a day. Here's by the way, if you guys want a full day, like a full day, you could do 12 demos. You could do a 9:30, an 11, a 12:30, a 2, a 3:30, a 5, a 6:30, an 8, a 9:30, and 11 o'clock. If you really wanted to do an entire day of demos. So 12 demos is probably like the max that you could really be doing. I mean, technically you could do more. You could do a 12:30 if you really wanted to. I wouldn't do that because you should probably get some sleep and rest in that. Okay. But you could have a maximum day. Amy Rod, she did 53 grand in a small period of time. Okay. One of the things that helped her do that is the fact that she had days where she would have 8 demos booked up. And by the way, so this is what a demo day, this is what a full day would look like during that push. She'd be up probably at 6, drive in the office at 7, get there by 7:30, at the office 7:30 to 9:30, leave the office 9:30 to drive to her first demo, get there at 10 o'clock. They needed 2 hours between their demos before, not an hour and a half. So she go from 10 o'clock, have one at 12, have one at 2, have one at 4, have one at 6, have one at 8, have one at 10. That was like a full day of demos and going from one appointment to the next one, driving. Y'all are able to get so much more demos in because they're virtual. That's an hour and a half. Reality is a lot of y'all's demos take 45 minutes, an hour top. So if you really wanted to, every once in a while, you could book one like an hour apart and just push it back if you need to or double book it. But what I'm saying is that, guys, you could do 12 demos in a full day. My expectation is if you're on the Alliance, you're probably completing 4 demos to 5 demos on average every single day. And one thing that will help you guys away is being strategic about your scheduling. Don't schedule 4 demos at 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock. That just doesn't because then you're kind of doing demos all day, but you're only doing 4 demos. So be strategic about your scheduling. That's why it's important to get good at the phones here. Okay. But that it already gives you on the schedule and the calendar the actual slots. I mean, those are the most of the details for the actual calendar events here. Okay. Let me see real quickly here. Any other, only other thoughts on the calendar is day one of the push. You know, day one of the push, you want this to be an explosive day. We want to sell 30 grand as a team. My encouragement and challenge to you is, can you make sure that first Monday that you experience a full day? What does a full day look like, right? Do you have all of your slots booked up, or have you made sure that you've hit your daily goal number? All of y'all have some sort of number here, right, that you've mapped out with Adrian, and you guys will all have access to this, you know, based off your average order and your closing percentage, how many total numbers of sales you need to make. And this is what number matters the most, okay, is the Alliance demo goal. And I'll make sure that that gets added on to here. But this is the number that I want you guys focused on, okay? And I'm going to get into the mentality here in a quick second, but this is the number. And then you also know how many demos you need to complete every single day. You know, Alex, you need to be doing 3 demos a day. Alyssa, you got to be getting 4 demos a day. Some of y'all, it's 5.4. You know, Alyssa, 6.3. You know, David, 4. Some of y'all, it's only, you know, getting 3 demos done every single day. Rihanna, 8. That's like the target number, I guess. And that's only, I guess, part of you're out of town. So, and you guys can kind of map those out, but I'll be focused on what's the goal I need to do. How many demos do I need to be completed every single day to hit my goal? Any questions on, I'm going to go through mentality here now. Any questions on calendar though, in general, calendar, schedule, anything like that for this week or throughout the whole entire push?
Yeah, I got a quick question. So we're good to book appointments for 9:30, right? We can book at 9:30.
On what day?
Just in general. Yeah, because I know like that meetings end at 9:30.
Yeah. I mean, after on a Wednesday night or Sunday, yeah, you could do demos after that.
Okay.
No, he's asking every single Monday.
9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So your first demo most days will be at 10 a.m. That's when you want to book the first one. Technically, by the way, you could book one at 9:30, technically, but I would just avoid doing that too often because it's good to give yourself a little breather room. And also, I won't be letting you hop off like 15 minutes early to prepare for your 9:30 a.m. if we're like on the call. So we're going to have you there till 9:30. So like, I would probably avoid booking like at 9:30 and just book them at 10, you know, or 9:45 a.m. probably earliest. So any other calendar questions, guys? All right. Let's go through some quick mentality and expectations, okay? This is something that you really want to take notes on. Let me just do this. So first thing I want you guys focused on is I want you all focused on the outcomes and the actions, not the results. What's important, and all of y'all have a goal, 10, 15, 20, 25K. That's great, and that matters, and that's what I want you working towards and focused on. And that's not really what matters the most, okay? Here's what you want to be focused on. Your goal is your appointments. This is your goals right here. You know, Tyler, I know you want to break the record, right? What you want to be focused on, here's the deal, Tyler. You do 103 demos, you'll probably break the record. Okay, so I think all this is math. This is statistic based, okay? This is what you guys want to make sure that you're really, I think, focusing on during your push performance is this right here, okay? Is your total demo goal during the push. How many demos do you need to be completing? That's what you're tracking down. That's the number I'd be also sharing with customers. That's your goal for your push. Complete this many demos, because all this has been calculated, guys. If you complete your demo goal number, you will hit your goal. I've been doing this, by the way, and I have the stats for the past 6-7 alliances. The people that hit their demo goal always hit their sales goal. Always. Okay. It is a, and the reason that we say that, by the way, is because when you're focused on selling 15 grand, it can just seem a lot bigger than it really needs to be, right? When you're not having the results, you get way in your own head about, like selling people, you start tweaking things in your demo, you start being a little bit more pressured and seeing needy for sales. And by the way, I'll just tell you guys this right now. Anytime that you see needy on a sale, like you need that sale, it's really hard to like connect with customers and also get them to a place where they're excited about purchasing from you. When you seem like needy, you know, in your appointments or something like that too. In fact, it's a lot better when you come like, look, everyone buys the stuff, Miss Jones, everyone's buying from me right now. Like when you radiate that energy, it's different. So I don't want you guys focused on like selling, although we're going to sell a lot of Kako. Focus on the appointments because it will make it easier for you emotionally. Because great, if you do 5 demos one day, right, and you sold 10 grand, who gives a shit? You know, the goal is not to sell 15 grand. The goal is to do 48 demos. So you've done 5 demos that day out of the 48 you need to do. We're going to keep going here. You know, and also if you do 5 demos and sell absolutely $0 on all of them, cool. Doesn't matter. We're not worried about the 15K. We're worried about getting 48 demos done. And now you've only got to get 43 demos done to hit your goal. That's what you want to be focused on is the numbers and the actions. And by the way, once you have that number, break it down even further. Cool. How many phone calls do I need to make during the push? If I need to do 48 demos as my number, it takes me 5 calls to book up, 1 demo. And you got to kind of keep in mind cancellations too. So, hey, if I want to do 48 demos, I probably need to get 60 booked up during the push. If I want to get 60 demos booked up, it takes me about 7 phone calls to book up a demo, and I can check those stats directly on Q. So I need to make 420 phone calls during the push. I've got 200 on my attack list. I'm going to make 200 calls before the push actually starts, and then I just got to make 220 phone calls over the course of 2.5 weeks. I can totally do that. Cool. It makes your numbers, it makes the push a lot more attainable versus like, I got to sell 15 grand. How am I going to sell 15 grand? Shit, I need to get more. Like that just makes it a lot more like high pressured versus just cool. I just need to make 420 phone calls. That's my push. My push is not selling 15K. My push is I'm pushing myself to make 420 phone calls over the course of the push. Because when I do that, the results come. Cool. And if you need help calculating those numbers, we can help you out with that. But I want you guys to focus on the actions versus just the actual results here. Okay. Next few things is daily, weekly push expectations. I'm going to go ahead and go and pull up our contract. So if everyone needs to kind of open up the folder that I sent into the group chat, and you're going to go ahead and open up the Alliance contracts document. Okay. And I'm going to walk you all through this, and then we're going to sign these ones. So what you're going to do, by the way, is once you get to this group, you can go ahead and make a copy. So you'll hit this button, make a copy. And once you make a copy, you can go ahead and edit it. So you'll right click it and let's say view, I think I can edit the link, rename, you'll rename it. Okay. So I'm going to put SC2 push alliance agreement, and then you'll put your name. So I'm going to go ahead and Adrian, this is the one you can edit. Cool. Adrian Redondo, boom. So you'll hit your name. So again, once you guys open up this folder, which I sent into the group chat earlier, it's the same one we've been using this whole time. You'll hit make a copy and then go ahead and edit one with your name on it. Okay, here's what this looks like, by the way. So this is the sample. Before you guys start editing any of them, so hold off on editing anything and just follow along with me real quickly for 5-10 minutes. And then I'll let you guys go ahead and edit them, and we're going to go into teams and stuff like that too. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this up one more time. So this is the contract. This is the expectations and the mentality that you all should have during the actual push. Okay, so check this out. I'll read it to you first. Cool. I, Andrew Evans, am totally committed to the effort that it will take to achieve, whatever your goal is during this push period. I will help rally and support the other squad members so that we can all achieve more during this push period than we would without each other's support and encouragement. I'm going to put my sales goal for the push. Demos need to be completed. And how much money and income will I earn if I hit my goal? There's 10 agreements, okay, that I'm going to require for everybody if they're going to be a part of this alliance. So 10 expectations, 10 agreements. This is what's in the contract. Number 1 is you're going to give 100%. You're going to do your best. Cool. I'm going to do everything that it takes to achieve my goal. I'm going to give everything my best. That doesn't mean I didn't say I didn't commit to hitting the goal, but I committed to doing everything I can to achieve my goal. I will strive to do 4 to 10 appointments every single day that I agree to work during the push. Okay. And again, by the way, if you have any certain specific agreements, like some of you already have, like, hey, this person, I'm out of town this day, I can't do anything on this part of the time. But outside of that, we're going to be pushing you, coaching you. So strive to do 4 to 10 appointments every single day. I agree to work during the push. I recognize that by doing blank number of appointments During the push, I'm choosing a path that will give me a realistic chance at selling this much. If I have a day where I have less than 4 appointments set up, I will make a minimum of 50 phone calls on that day. If I have a cancellation, I'll use that time to make 20 phone calls or to book up at least 2 appointments to replace that cancellation, right? So we're setting agreements ahead of time of like, hey, the expectation, pretty much every single person's numbers that I have up here, is you're booking 4 demos a day. That's pretty much consistent across every period. Some of y'all, it's like 8 and 10. You'll be booking up 8 demos, 9 demos, 10 demos in a day. But like 4 is like the minimum expectation, right? For most days, the push. And it just, all it's saying is like, if you have a day where you were supposed to go out and do 4 or 5 demos and you don't have 4 or 5 demos booked up, that time period that you would have spent doing demos should be spent doing what?
Making calls.
Making calls. Yeah. And that's kind of the idea, is that during the push, it's like I'm either in a demo, I'm on a skills check or getting better at my skills, or I'm making phone calls to book up some more demos. So if you're in a situation where like you didn't get the demos booked up on Sunday or Wednesday, or let's say you didn't hit the 20 that you needed to before you started the push, well, during those time periods, it's like, cool, we're going to make phone calls during those times. Any that you don't do 40 demos, you should make at least 50 phone calls on those days. If I have a cancellation, I'll use that time to make 20 phone calls or book up at least. You have a cancellation, when 1 cancels, book 2. You'll know the drill with that one. I will show up to all phone jams with at least 50 names and numbers to call. I'll not leave a phone jam until I've reached my goal. I will arrive to the all-day call day on Sunday, July 10th, with at least 10 demos ahead of me, and will leave with 20 to 30 plus. I will have 150 to 250 names prior to July 12th to make this happen. I commit to phoning and not distracting myself and others. And these are probably the most important ones. Okay, so I'll attend the meetings, daily Alliance meetings, 7:30 to 9:30 on agreed mornings. I will not oversleep. I will show up ready to make phone calls with a list of 50 names and numbers. I'll show up ready and able to complete the same day demos that I book, right? So it's an expectation that like you're able to book up demos on that same day. And I'll have a good attitude at every meeting. Okay, I think that is really, really important. I'm going to come back to that in a second after I read these. I will voice memo the Miami Spartans PDI WhatsApp after every single appointment during the push. I'm going to come back to that in a second. I recognize that my results will inspire the rest of the team, so I'll post how hot updates to the WhatsApp group. I also realize that I will sometimes have to force myself to get the encouragement I need when I most need it. I will be totally accountable to the office. Here's what I mean by that, okay? So you guys know the PDI line, 305-791-2080. If you send that line a WhatsApp, it's going to go to me, okay? Now, I want y'all communicating with me daily during the push. That's one of the perks of being a part of this alliance, is that you're going to get influence and some coaching from me specifically. I don't want you guys blowing up my own personal WhatsApp, though, because I already get about 400 messages a day on that thing, okay? So here's what's going to be the requirement. This is not a suggestion. This is not a, hey, do it if you have time. If you're a part of the alliance, this has to happen, whether you are an assistant manager, a brand new rep, or anyone, is that, and the only exception maybe is probably people in the route. You don't have to message me. You're probably going to send a message to Jonathan. But I need you guys to send, after every demo that you do, you'll still call the office when you need help with deals and things like that and closing appointments. But every demo that you do, I need to get a 30-second audio recording from you after every single one. What went well, what you feel good about, what questions that you had, what objections did you get on the appointment, where can we improve, what questions do you have? 30 seconds. Don't do it longer than a minute ever, please, because I won't listen to them if they're longer than a minute, usually. 30 seconds, but you just send me a demo debrief after every single one. I might not respond to them for days. I might respond to every single one that you send me. Okay, I can see them all, but the point is I want you guys, even if I don't listen to them, it doesn't matter. This is called best practices, and it's best practices for you all. When you're tracking your results and debriefing between every single appointment, you're going to be getting better because you're naturally bringing attention to what you're doing well and what you need to stop, what you need to fix, versus just going from one to the next and not really ever like thinking about it. So you got to send a WhatsApp audio to that account every single day, and then just post up the respective group chats, which means your own little main team, and then the gunner chat. I'll post up an Alliance Communications. I'll give you guys a document on that a little bit later, so you know like when to post in what group, and make it really, really clear for y'all, so you have some kind of just direction on that. Last few things on the contract. I'll let you guys kind of fill one of these out and create one for yourself. If I'm struggling with adversity, so when and if you feel like you're overwhelmed, you feel like quitting, you have some adversity, you have a challenge, okay, you'll talk to me. That's all it's saying right there. You'll talk to me or other managers and get help. You won't just keep it all inside and try to figure it all out yourself. And the last thing is I'll maintain a positive attitude throughout the entire push period. This is a non-negotiable. I won't bring any negativity into any kind of the office. That means I don't care what's going bad or awful in your day. Like when you show up here, you're not going to complain or spread negativity to other alliance members. Because a lot of people are going to be having great experiences. Some people are going to be going through some challenges and have to persevere and push through adversity. And we want these meetings to be inspiring for people so that they can come and kind of feel shitty and come out feeling good, and not like, hey, they came here and then boom, so-and-so just kept ragging in their ear about how awful their day was yesterday and it just negatively influenced them before they got started with their days. I promise to share any negative thoughts or complaints with the manager. Here's something I'll write down in your notes, okay, is the 5-minute rule. 5-minute rule. If you ever want to call me during the push and you need to, you can call me or Adrian or Jonathan. You want to vent, you can do that. You can complain, you can curse, you can talk about how bad everything is going, but you get 5 minutes to do that. After 5 minutes, no more complaining, no more, sob stories, no more talking about everything that's going wrong. We got to focus on what we're going to do coming out of it. Cool. It's okay to kind of just get shit off your chest sometimes and say what you need to say and get it out, but then but no more than 5 minutes, right? If it's not going to, and that's the rule. It's the 5-minute rule. If it's not going to matter in 5 years from now, don't spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it. Right? It's okay to have concerns or be worried. And by the way, if it's going to really impact your life and matter significantly 5 years from now, then it's probably okay to spend more than 5 minutes, freaking out about that or complaining. But if not, no more than 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes is what you get. Living by the 5-minute rule during this. And then I will not let up at all during the push and I will never give up my goal. I am fully committed to the entire push under any and all circumstances. I will not quit. That's really the only main rule. You just can't quit. When I fully commit to my goal during the push, I will stack savings, develop my skill set, and open up many future opportunities and doors for myself. But most importantly, I will have a chance to see who I am and take the proper steps towards who I need to become. So once you have these here, you can, so everyone's going to create one and sign. But that's mainly it, guys. These are the things. If you do these things, by the way, this is the contract, not because I want you guys to have, I want you to have some sort of accountability. And also I know that when you do these things, when you show up in this way, when you make this commitment to yourself, to me, to your other managers, and to, your teammates, you're going to have a really powerful and exciting push experience, and that's kind of the purpose of why we have this and why we're taking some time to do this today. So I have a couple other thoughts, just mentality wise, but these are the main kind of things and I guess the main rules for being a part of this group. And by the way, there's still time to back out, so if you're in this meeting and you're like, oh my gosh, Andrew, there's no way I can be a part of this group, whatever, then you can still step down. I want to make sure I'd rather have 5 people that are committed on the alliance than have, 25 people and half the group is not really there. So I want to work with the people that I want to train the people that want to be trained. I want to coach the people that want to be coached. The people that want the experience, that are connected to their vision. That's what I want. I want to be able to give you guys my very best. So take a quick second, go ahead and make a duplicate. I'll give everyone 2 or 3 minutes, but again, just to show you guys technologically wise how to do that. I already sent the link into the group chat, but I'm sure there's probably already a lot of them already being made. Boom, you get this. So you can literally just copy the sample. You can do that by right clicking and hit make a copy, and other people are already making a bunch of copies here. Cool. And then you'll right click it again and hit rename. Okay, just make sure you guys don't edit the original sample here. I want to make sure that one stays the same. But you can hit it and hit right click it again, hit rename. Go ahead and make yourself a copy here. And then Jonathan, I'm assuming you're probably making one for the Doral crew right now or something. You can just copy this one and put it into a folder for them, and they can copy that too. And you guys will go ahead and sign your names here. I believe there's a way to insert your signature. But if you want, you could just type out your name too. It's not the end of the world. Or you could, do some sort of, I don't know. Does anyone know how to do to write on it?
Unless it's a tablet, there's no way.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, usually you can do it on a PDF, but that's fine. So right here, you guys can just type out your names and above the line, and then type out the date here. Make it short and sweet. Make your own group. I'll give everyone, I don't know, 2 minutes to go ahead and fill those out. Read over it. See if you have any questions. I'm going to come back behind you guys and sign on yours. And everyone take a quick second to make one. And this is when it becomes officially official, by the way. So congratulations as you guys are filling them out here. And I'm going to grab one thing real quick for you guys. All right, everyone get a chance to finish that. Let me just make sure it's here. Cool. We got a lot of, I think some of y'all are still kind of figuring it out here. We all made copies of this. Same people again. So make sure you change your names, and I'll go back in and kind of edit them here. Yeah, honestly, Jonathan, if you guys want, I think Doral can just do it in here. That's fine. Anyone need more time? All right. We're going to move on here because it's 12:05 p.m. So I'm going to have to move on to some other stuff. We're about to do a team draft. Jonathan, can you send me a list of everyone that's on your alliance that will be that is officially on a team?
Yeah.
Have that. Cool. Send that over to me. Just a list of every single person that's going to be on a team.
What's up?
What do you say?
What's up?
Yeah, it's fine. All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do for skill set. I was going to do a review of the advanced demo and skills checks and things like that. Quite honestly, we're just not going to have time because it's already 12:05 and I still got to do the team draft. So here's what I'd like you all to do, a couple different things. As far as the advanced demo goes, I'm going to forward it into the group chat. I think I already sent it, into the group chat here as well this morning. So it's the recommendation approach, the recommendation sheet, the advanced demo, the keynote, and the phone approach. So making sure you guys have those set up. I'm going to set up skills checks with everyone so you guys can get some quizzing on that. Who was not on the, and it's okay if you weren't, it wasn't necessarily mandatory. I know some people just couldn't make it. Who was not on the Wednesday call last week? Like the Wednesday call from 9 and 10:30 where we kind of went over like the new advanced demo and stuff like that too. All right, cool. That call is recorded. It's an hour and a half. You guys need to watch that call probably like ASAP. I would watch it before Thursday. That is the only thing that y'all just probably need to get caught up on. Everybody else, just make sure you're feeling good with your skill set with the advanced demo. Who's already fully on it? You've been using the advanced demo and you've also been using the keynotes and stuff like that too. Cool. Tyler, David, Christian, nice. So yeah, we're going to kind of quiz you guys on that before Thursday. And if you have questions on that stuff, go over it. But I'm going to send everyone the link to the video. So even if you were on that call, if you feel like you need to button up your skill set or still work on a couple of things, feel free to go back and watch it again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send that into the group chat here one more time. I believe I sent it up here. Okay, cool. So I'll tag, and this would be for, let's see, I believe. Raise your hand again if you haven't seen the video yet. I think it's Emily, Susan, Nick. There's probably some more people, but I'm just gonna tag you all in first now. Cool. So you guys have that video. I just sent it to the group chat as well. Okay. Now what we'll go ahead and do is we're gonna go through a quick exercise and we'll probably actually no the last two things. So all right, two more things. We're gonna do just one thing skill set wise, and we're just gonna do our team draft, and we got to do it in 20 minutes. Okay. So all right, first things first is I want you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and send it into the group chat, but I'm gonna give you guys a hit list, and I want you guys to walk yourself through. Let me see. Okay. And rank yourself on the following things. So I'm going to give you guys this list afterwards. Just go ahead and give yourself a letter grade on these things. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a following category. So this is around getting more names and numbers. Okay. Actually, I'm going to give you guys the contest announcement now. So let me actually pull this up. The contest that we're doing. So however many names and numbers that you have currently on queue, it's going to be based off of whatever you currently have. On your I guess app right now. So I'm going to mark that down. Here's the names list generation contest from now until Sunday. Okay, so basically we'll do it Saturday night. So we will however many names and numbers you have before Sunday. For every 50 names, this is only for Alliance, no one else. For every 50 names that you add, okay, onto your Q app, I'm going to give you guys $75 in free Kako. Automatic. Cool. So you'll get a $75 credit. So if you add 100 names between now and Saturday, I don't even care how you get the names. It could be from a directory. It could be from mom and dad. Could be from, recommendations. You add 100 names between now and then, you're going to get $150 in credit. 200 names would be $300 in Cutco, whatever you want. Cool. I'll get it for you guys. So you have that contest, which I think is pretty fire. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a raffle for some other free Cutco products. Oh, if you're over 150 names, you'll get 1 entry into the raffle. If you're over 200 names, you'll get 2 entries. 250 is 3 entries. 250 plus 3 entries. So that's what I want you guys to be focused on, is getting to those benchmarks. Okay. One entry, 150 names, 200 names is 2 entries, 250 names is 3 entries. Okay. Last thing is every 25 names and numbers, you have to show it to me on a recommendation sheet though. But every 25 names and numbers that mom and dad gives you, if they come from mom and dad. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of a hookup here. I'll give you guys $25. So literally you get 25 names from mom and dad, I'll give you $25. You get 50 names from mom and dad, I'll give you $50. You get 75 names from mom and dad, I'll give you $75. Okay, it's got to be names that you don't already have, you haven't called yet, you haven't seen yet. It's got to be new names. But I'm giving you guys this because I promise, all of your parents have people that they know that they have not recommended you to. They have held out on you. Okay, some of y'all, they've held on you the whole time, like they've never given you anybody. And some of you all, they've given you a bunch of people, and I'm telling you, they're still holding on to people. You know, my parents even Luke Viseko runs the Boca Raton office. His younger sister is actually his district office manager, if you didn't know that. For years, Luke had been doing the job for 3 or 4 summers. Every summer, he'd ask his parents for more people. They're always like, no, we've given you all our people, Luke. We have no one else to show. We have no one else you can see, right? And as soon as Liz started the job, they instantly had people for her to see. Okay, he'd been doing the job for 3 or 4 years. They never had anyone else. She started the job. They're like, all right, here's 50 people. Go see these. Okay, so your parents, even my parents, are the same thing. I've been doing the job for summer after summer after summer. Mom's like, well, why doesn't your brother do this? We have so many more people you go see. I'm like, where the hell are all those people every time I ask, Mom? You know, so your parents have more people. So I'll give you a little bit extra incentive if you can get some from mom and dad. Otherwise, just you have the free Cutco credits and the other stuff. Sound good, everybody? Contest-wise? Cool. Yeah, Anthony?
You had mentioned from now till Saturday night to get at least.
Yeah, basically till Sunday. So I'll see who basically be Sunday at 3:00. Whenever I kick off the all-day phone jam, whatever you have at that point in time is what I'll base it off of.
So do the ones that I got this morning or last night count, like those 60 toward that, or does it have to be from
12:30 p.m. and beyond? So starting today at 12:30. So anything that happens after this call, it counts. Okay. Yeah, so none of those count.
Got another 60.
But nice work getting there. Yeah, exactly. Do it again. So that's the assignment from here. Here's what I want you guys to rank yourself real quickly in terms of grades. I know a lot of y'all have heard the ideas of getting more numbers, generating more numbers. The question you want to ask yourself is how well have I done at some of these things? Rank yourself in the following things. Ready? Okay. Have you had a sit-down conversation with your parents and siblings yet to see if you can get more names and numbers? And I know a lot of you guys have. Right? Give yourself a scale of A to F. A being like, I had a really good conversation. I've had multiple conversations with them. I've gotten them to help me out. F being like, I've never even tried. You know, C is like, I kind of tried, just didn't get very far. All right, cool. Give yourself a grade on that one. Second thing is social media work. How many of your parents and relatives have posted on Facebook for you? Or have you locked down and already gotten a confirmation to post once your push starts? I would say if you have, more than 25 to 30 of these, it's probably a B to A. If you've got 25 people maybe making a post for you once the push starts, I'd probably give that an A or higher. If you have none, F. If you've never even started with it, F. If you've kind of like done it, but you only have a couple people that have confirmed or talked to, maybe a D or C. If you've got like 10 already locked down or have already posted, it's probably like a C or B. Right? So that's parents and relatives posting on Facebook. Next one I'd rank is old customers posting. How many of your old customers do you have confirmed to make a post for you or have already made a post for you? Same thing, A through F. So sitting down with parents and siblings, parents, relatives posting, old customers posting. Okay? Messaging parents or messaging your friends' parents is the next one. Right? So almost everybody here has texted a couple friends to get their parents' numbers. How many have you texted though? Right? I would say, have you, and like, just rate yourself honestly here. If you reached out to less than 10 of your friends to get their parents' numbers, I would put that as an F. Okay. If you're like 20 to 30, you're probably like a D. If you've reached out to like 50 to 100, before, that's probably like a C or a B. If you reach out to 100 plus, I'd say would be like an A. If you've personally messaged over 100 people to get mom and dad's number, I would be putting into the A category. Although some of y'all have 1,000 contacts in your phone. So like you've got 700 people you can message. Your A should probably be like a little bit higher standards. Rank yourself A to F. How many people have you actually reached out to? And that's like texting. Like then I would also add like, have you used Instagram or Snapchat? Just message some people on there. All right. Sticky note approach. Have you ever done the sticky note approach? Have you ever done like the sticky notes on the neighbors and the doors? Right. That would be F to A. That's a pretty easy one. It's probably like a B or an A. Like you've done it or you haven't done it. You've never even tried before. How much have you explored getting directories? Have you looked to see if you can get your hands on a sports directory, a church directory, a neighborhood directory, directory for the school that you go to, the directory for the school that your sister or brother go to, any type of directories? How well have you done that? A would be I've done a lot of research. In fact, I've gotten my hands on a couple different directories that I have. F is like I've never even tried or asked anyone for that. D or C is kind of like I kind of asked a couple people and they said they didn't have it and I didn't really follow up with them. C or B is like I tried and I think I'm getting a couple and I'm waiting on one or two. Directories, right? Have you done the neighbors white pages app? So the next one thing I would just be neighbors white pages. Have you gone into white pages and pulled up the phone numbers for your neighbors, or done what's the app called? The My Neighbor. Does anyone know what it's called? What's the one called?
Yeah,
Godforsaken Nextdoor.
Yeah, Nextdoor. Have you hopped on Nextdoor? Okay, and done some stuff with your neighbors there. A through F. Where have you done with that? Last one, I'd say, how many emails have you sent to your teachers and coaches and professors? Right? A is I've emailed every single teacher and professor I've ever had. B or C is like I emailed my professors from this semester and last semester, and I reach out to some of the emails from my high school teachers. C is like I've sent a couple. D is like F is like I've never sent a single email before from any of my teachers. D is like I've sent out 5. Out of all the teachers I've ever had, I've sent out a couple of them. So I just rank yourself on those things. Those are things you can be doing to generate more names and numbers. Okay. Now, by the way, I'm not going to have you guys post right now, but give me a good sense. What would you all say is like the average grade that you have right now? If this was a report card, what would you say if they averaged out all your grades for your class right now? What would you guys have as a grade?
What's that GPA?
What's your GPAs right now? I'm judging by the faces and the laughing. No, some of them aren't good. Okay. Here's the deal. If you brought home that report card that you have right now to your parents, how would they be reacting right now? Okay. That's like your Alliance name generation report card. Okay. By the way, the good thing though, is that this is not your report card. This is your progress report. Okay. Your report card is going to be generated on Sunday. This is your progress report. Okay. So the good news is that if you have some shitty grades in there, you can still change them. Okay. You can still go out there and make some moves in those, but that's what I'd be thinking. And again, you don't have to have an A in every single one, but I would be looking for like, hey, I think hopefully you guys are realizing there's a lot of things that y'all can be doing over the next couple of days to like work on doing some of this and getting some names and numbers. You could do all of them. You could hit a couple of them really hard, but that's what I'd be kind of paying attention to and thinking about. My last tip for you guys mentality-wise before I do the team draft, and we'll have to do a fast team draft. But my last tip for you all mentality-wise is this, okay, is that I would also make sure that you have, like, one of the biggest things, I think the 1/3 rule, the 5-minute venting rule, but I would also prep your circles of influence. Here's what I mean by that, guys, okay? A big part around your expectations should be setting up the proper expectations for the people around you. Right? So the last thing I would ask you guys to do is be committed to sitting down and talking to your parents, your girlfriend or boyfriend, your significant other, or any of your friends. Okay? Anyone that could possibly be a deterrent or a distraction or could get in the way, right? Who do you need? Whose support do you need during the push? Those are people that I would be talking to. And the next 4 to 5 days outside of prepping for the push and building the alliance, you should be really committed and intentional about sitting down with those people. Some of you all, it's your best friends, and tell them, hey, look, this is what I'm doing, dude, for the next couple weeks. Like I'm doing this July 13th, the 31st. Let's go out, we can hang out on Thursday. But after that, dude, I'm really gonna be focused on these goals. I'm not, it's not like I'm not your friend. It's like I'm probably not be texting you a ton. It's like I'm not ignoring you, but we will celebrate and I'll party and we can do whatever. And, August 1st, but here's what I'm doing from these dates to these dates. And I really appreciate if you could support me in that. You know, talking to your significant other, same thing. Talking to your parents, being like, hey, mom and dad, here's what I'm signing up for. Here's why I'm doing this. Here's what I'm excited about. Here's my vision. Here's how I feel like this is going to help me out. You know, like let them know why you're doing this, and not that you're just like working so much so often for like no reason. Because that's how they're going to feel if you haven't had this conversation with them. And it's a lot easier when you've been sitting in your room all day, cranking out a shit ton of calls, making a bunch of calls, doing a bunch of appointments, to come out and have people that are like, hey, how'd your day go today? How are you doing? Do you need some food? By the way, do you need more people to call? Like they've got your back and they're like excited. That is game changing compared to like, you've been on calls, you were on Alliance meeting at 7:30 a.m., you've been working your ass off all day, the day didn't go the way you wanted to, and then you walk out of your room and you have to hear, like, why are you in there all day? Why are you working so much? Like, this doesn't even make sense. Well, you're wasting your time, you know, like you didn't sell anything today. I feel like you're not even going to hit your goal. Like that makes your push 20 times harder, okay? So talking to whoever, be committed this week to like talking to whoever is important to have a conversation with in your life right now, that is someone that is in your circles of influence, whether that be your friends, whether that be your significant others or your parents or your siblings, whoever it is that you need to talk to. I would make sure that you're being intentional about having those conversations in this upcoming week here. Cool. All right, let's do the legendary team draft. So here's how this works, okay? We're gonna do teams. I already kind of have an idea of who the captains are. The captains are gonna go ahead and draft the teams. You'll be able to pick the goals and stuff like that too. And then you guys are gonna get into team groups, and I'm gonna need to do this fast. Here's how this works, okay? You're gonna be able to gain points and lose points. It will be a $20 buy-in from every single person that's on the Alliance. So what will happen is everyone will chip in $20. There'll probably be about 30 people total, so the pot will be like 600. And then I'm going to take another $400 and throw it on top. Okay. So everyone will put in $20 into the pot. It'll be like $1,000. And there'll be probably 5 teams of 6, or maybe there might be 7 teams. It's probably gonna be 5 or 6 teams. Okay. And each team will have 4 to 6 people on it. And the winning team of the push, whoever wins the push, will get the pot. So I could, and it depends what they want. Sometimes I'll just take the $1,000. Cool. Split it up, $200 each way. So $20 buy-in, you win $200. Y'all are already going to be making a lot of money during the push though. So I probably lean away from doing just like a financial one. And what will probably happen is I'll take that money and I'll take out the winning team on a baller dinner. So we'll go do something in Miami at one of the baller dinner spots here, and we'll go do that and celebrate. And I'm also probably going to get the winning team a bunch of gear. So we're gonna get whatever that team name is. We're winning SC2 champs 2020. So you'll have like gears and some some zip ups and stuff like that too. So I'll get you guys some pretty fresh gear and take you all out to a really nice dinner for whoever the winners are, and you'll be able to rep those for everything kind of moving forward in your teams and stuff like that too. So that's how the contest works. Here's how you lose and gain points, and I'll just go ahead and put it up on the screen here for you. So. Let me do this. Okay, in the folder, it's already there. Okay, there's a points update sheet. So here's how this will work. Here's the points. Bonus points, I announce bonus points all the time. And here's how you gain points. Every 500 CPO that you sell on a day, so this will be done daily. If you sell $500 for the day, you gain a point. So if I had a $2,000 day, I'd be gaining 4 points for my team, but it's only every 500. So if you sell $900, it's still just 1 point for your team. If I get 2 sponsors in a day, so not if I get 20 recommendations, but 2 sponsors, that means one person gives me 10 twice. I have one person give me 10, another person give me 10. Every 2 sponsors that I get in one day will be an extra point. If I book or create 4 demos on a non-phone jam day, that's a point, meaning not Wednesdays and Sundays, because everyone should be booking 4 demos on Wednesdays and Sundays. But let's say on a Tuesday, I make 40 calls and book up 4 demos. Cool. I'm going to gain an extra point for my team, and then any day that I complete 4 demos, I gain one, regardless of how much I sell, I gain a point. 6 demos completed is 2 points. 8 demos completed on a day is automatic 3 points, regardless of how much I sell. You should be gaining points for your team every single day, and that part of that, by the way, is just activity based. Like regardless of whether you sold anything, like if you are just doing demos that day, like there should never be a day where you don't put points up for your team. Because that means that if you didn't put any points up for your team that day, that means literally you didn't even do 4 demos. And not only did you have no demos booked up, but you didn't do anything the entire day. Like you spent the whole day and you didn't even book up for it. Like you didn't even make phone calls. Like you did 0 demos. You didn't make any phone calls. You didn't sell anything. You didn't get any sponsors. You didn't work on getting more names and numbers. You didn't do shit all day. That's basically what that means if you ever don't put up points for the day for your team. It's like you didn't give your best that day. You didn't give 100%. Or maybe in the offshoot chance you just absolutely got wrecked, but that doesn't usually happen. Lose points. If you're late to a meeting, literally 1 minute late is an automatic point. Okay, here's the fun rule. So, and you guys are really lucky because this is way less than it used to be. So if you're more than 15 minutes late to an alliance meeting, unless it was pre-agreed upon, like some of y'all already have pre-approved like dates you won't be coming to, that's fine. This does not count for that. But unless it was covered ahead of time, if you're more than 15 minutes late, so that means if it's after 7:45, if you hop on a meeting late, you have to buy breakfast for one other person on the alliance. Okay. It used to be breakfast for the entire alliance. So when we were in the physical office, it used to be not only did you have to buy breakfast, but you'd have to come in with breakfast the next day. So you had to be up earlier the next day at 7:30 to go to freaking Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, buy breakfast for the entire group and show up within the office. What I'll do this year, since we're virtual, is it will just be you have to buy breakfast for one other person. So I'll have a wheel of names with every person in the alliance, and anyone that's late, I'm just going to press the wheel and then it will randomly pick someone, and someone will randomly get picked, and that person can, Venmo over some free money for breakfast or something like that. $20 or $25 is what it will be too. So just don't be more than 15 minutes late though. That's not like, again, this is not one of those, oh, whatever, I'll just be late. I'll just buy breakfast for someone. I don't care. Like, I want you guys to be holding yourselves accountable to the alliance. It's not just supposed to be like it's not like you're out of doing it. It's like the purpose is not to punish you guys. I want you guys there on time and for the actual events, but this does make it a little bit fun, and also makes it fun for the people that are on time and getting free breakfast from the people that are late. Then if you miss a meeting, it's -3 points. If you ever miss a Wednesday or a Sunday during the push and it wasn't pre-approved, it's going to be -5 points for your team. So you just be on point with the meetings and the things you committed to, and you won't lose points. And then you always gain points for your team, and we'll update these points every single day. So captains, what we'll be in charge of doing is every single morning during the alliance, the first thing we'll do when we hop on is everyone on your team chat will have to post up their stats of the day. Okay. And every day I'll have them post up how much they sold the previous day, how many appointments did they do, how many appointments did they book on the phones, sponsors, late, and if they were late or something like that to a meeting. And what this will do is we'll automatically calculate the points as we continue. And you guys will be able to see, boom. All right, cool. And the team points will update, and we'll have every single person's kind of team points here. So let's go ahead and let's do this draft here. Cool. So let me see real quickly here. I'll add on this, and we'll do the draft. Okay, let me see here. So I'm going to make it over here. Team 1, team, we'll call it team 2. And then we'll just do, yeah. All right. I'll go ahead and copy and paste the people on this list here. And there'll be a couple others. There's gonna be a couple other probably late stragglers that just didn't get a chance to do a PC yet. That might be hopping on here into the groups. Boom. Jonathan, did you send me yours?
Yeah, it's on WhatsApp.
Should I put their goals here so everyone can see that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna add this in, guys. By the way, we might just need to go like 5 minutes over, so be flexible with me if you can, guys. I have a call that I have to get to, so I'm gonna do this fast. Name, I'll put a goal for the push, so they have that. When you guys are picking here, here it is. And Jonathan, you sent me yours.
Hey, Drew, how many
Yep.
teams?
I'm gonna see how many exactly we have real quickly.
Okay.
Um,
I'll get the wheel of names ready for first pick.
okay, cool, perfect. All right, so here's yeah, we'll just do that for the first pick here. All right, cool. So here's what we have right now. So we're gonna do 5 teams, probably 6 for now. Doral, I'm probably gonna keep. I don't know, John. Do you want to mix the teams, or do you want to keep them the same?
Let's do that. I want to mix them.
You want to mix them?
Yeah.
Mix them? All right, cool. All right, let's do that then. We'll mix them. You guys got to be on point here, though, Drew. All right, we're going to mix the teams up. So, Jonathan, do you know their can you go on the sheet real quickly and edit this? It's in the folder. Just put up their goals here real quickly.
Okay.
And then who on your team's in AMI right now?
We've got Spencer, Anthony, and Cheka.
All right. Here's the captains. Jelsis, you're a captain. Okay. I'm gonna take Issa off here for now. Christina. Let me see real quickly here. I'm gonna have you be a captain. And then let's see, we're gonna have probably Anthony be a captain. Jonathan might make Spencer a captain. Can you choose for him?
Yeah.
Is he going to be good for all the alliance meetings in the morning and stuff like that?
Yeah, 100%. He's on Champions Club every morning, anyways.
All right, nice. And then we can have. I'm gonna have. I don't remember here. Tyler's gonna be captain. I think that's 5. Cool. So let me go ahead and do this. I'll put Jelsis and Adrian, if you want to put them into the wheel of names here. And
I already got that.
uh,
Just I have it 1 through 5. So just match the team name with the.
all right, cool. All right, so someone's gonna get the first pick. Adrian, go ahead and share your screen. Let's see who's getting the first draft here.
All right, but did you already do who's team 1? Like team 1?
Yeah, I already put it up there.
All right, cool. All right, should I just do names then? Because I think it's gonna be a little confusing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can do names or numbers. I already got them 1 through 5. Whatever's easier. You can do names if you want. Just do numbers. Just do numbers, okay?
How easy it is.
All right, cool. Go for
All
it.
right, for the first pick, let's see who it is. Team 4. I think that's Anthony.
All right.
No, that's Spencer.
Oh, sure.
Number 5.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen now, Adrian. All right, so yeah, I think it's Spencer, which means Jonathan, you're gonna pick on his behalf. You're gonna be the heir here, okay? I'm gonna make sure. By the way, there can only be 1 assistant manager on each team of these teams here. Okay, it's only 1 assistant manager per team. Jonathan, who do you who's the first pick here?
Knowing Spencer, you'd probably go for Cheka as first pick.
All right, cool. So he's on team 4 now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Andrew, Cheka it is. All right, cool. We'll go we're gonna go in snake order here, okay? So I'm gonna go back to Adrian, you don't have to do it that way. Are you just gonna do it in that order? Just keep raffling it. All right, cool. All right, next pick is team 5. Okay, team 5. Anthony, you just got another pick. Make sure you shuffle it, by the way, Adrian. All right, Anthony, who do you want? I'm gonna share my screen one more time.
Yeah. Wait, do I pick like the assistant managers or just
Pick anyone. You can pick anyone.
Anyone.
Anyone. Anyone that's still on this list here that doesn't have that's not already on a team.
Huh.
Gotta pick fast though, or you're gonna.
Yeah. Let me do Julia Ortiz.
All righty. Good choice.
Yeah.
Boom. All right.
My assistant manager.
All right, Adrian, go ahead and just do it.
Team 1.
All right, team 1. Jelsis, you're up. Who do you want?
Listen.
Alyssa, all right. Didn't see that one coming. All right, let me put it here.
All right, then let me just do this for last pick here.
Yep.
Don't even think I need to shuffle that, but 2. All right.
All right, team 2. That means Christina, you got up. You're next.
I'll take Alex.
Alex, which one? I guess there's only one Alex.
I was gonna pick Alex.
Alex Gonzalez. All right, boom. Tyler, who do you want?
You guys are not looking at the goals.
I'm gonna go with Harrison.
Oh, that's a good pick.
All right. Wait, let me
dangerous
get
right
that.
there.
Alex Gonzalez is here, and Alyssa Sublat is team 1, and Julia Ortiz is team 5, and who was the other one you picked, Tyler?
Harrison.
Harrison.
About 24.
Yep, I see it. Team 3. All right, Tyler, you get another pick.
I'm gonna go with Nicole.
Which one?
Nicole Ruiz.
All righty. Cole Ruiz. Boom, you're on team 3. All right. Let's see here. Christina, your pick.
You're muted.
I said David.
David. This David?
Yes.
Boom.
Laloof.
Ilaloof. All right, David's in there. Jelsis, your pick. And then, guys, go ahead and start getting your picks ready so we can do this fast.
Yandri.
Yandri. All right, team 1. Where's Yandri? Dun, 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 dun. All right, Anthony, you're up.
Nicole Fernandez. 16.
Boom. Team 5. Nicole Hernandez. All right, let's go to Jonathan. Pick on behalf of team 4.
We'll pick up Max Vorha.
All righty. Nice. And then you got another one.
All right. Let's see here. Damn, all the assistant managers got picked. We'll take we'll take Connor. We'll take Connor.
Let me see. Where's Connor? All right, boom. Connor size. All right, Anthony, you got another pick.
Junk. Okay, wait. Let me see. Nicholas.
Nicholas, you said?
Yeah.
Cool. By the way, real quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and put. Let me see here. Wait 1 second. Put on this team 2. All right. Sorry, I missed this one. Nicholas. Dana. Boom. Team 1, Jelsis. Who do you want?
Alyssa Andrews.
Alyssa Andreas.
We got both Alyssas.
Boom, both Alyssas. And Christina, who do you want?
Sydney Cantor. She's at the bottom.
Yeah, sorry. I'm Alyssa Andreas is on team. I don't know why I put that. Connor, let me just make sure this is there. Who'd you say? Sydney Cantor?
Yeah.
Boom. All right, Tyler, who do you want?
Emily, number 15.
Emily, good choice. Emily Hedges. All right, you get one more, Tyler. Here, who do you want? Nick Dana's already taken.
Angela Hernandez.
Which one was it? Angie Hernandez.
Yeah.
Cool, good pick. And Christina?
Cameron Darville.
Cameron Darville.
I don't know who that is.
You just took Sydney off.
Yeah, you gotta put Sydney.
There you go.
Cool. Let me put this here. Cameron's going to be team 2. All right. And then Rihanna. Or sorry, there's Rihanna. There's Anthony's already on a team. There's Lindsay and there's Zoe. There might be a couple more additions out there too. So, Jelsis, who do you want?
Rihanna.
Boom. Let me just do this cut and paste. All right. Anthony, who do you want?
Zoe.
And team 4, looks like you guys have Lindsay. Let's go. All right, guys. We might add on there's a chance if anything changes, if anyone steps down, if anyone doesn't end up being a part of the Alliance, we'll adjust these teams appropriately. But it will probably be right now it's 5 teams of 5. And we'll probably add in a couple others there. Am I missing anyone? Is there anyone that's not on the sheet, by the way? All righty. Here's what I need you guys to do. Who?
Yeah, well, I'm still PCing them, but Christian and Suzanne.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Christian, yes. So Susan and Christian both need a PC. So there's some of y'all I'm going to add to this, okay? Because I think there might be a couple people I'm going to take out of here. And there's probably another row of people that are still need to be added here. So there's probably going to be 6. Again, there's probably going to be 5 teams of 6. Or we might do a 6 team of 5 here, but we'll probably start off with just 5 teams of 6 to call it a day. Here's what I need y'all to do, okay? Whoever the team captain is, and maybe Jonathan do this with Spencer's team, need you I'm going to hop off here because I have to go to my call with Scott. But what I want y'all to do is this. I need these posted in the Alliance group chat. Each Alliance captain, I'm going to need y'all to post. You're going to need to get in your groups of teams. So get phone numbers or exchange them real quickly with people in the group chat. And then you're going to post up into the chat your team name. Okay. I'm gonna get logos professionally created for y'all. So I'll have them ready to rock and roll before this Monday. So I need your team name and kind of like if you have a theme song, if you have a chant or anything else like that, I would kind of make those real quickly. Get in your team groups and talk about what you guys want your teams to be about. And then I would form a group chat with your team real quickly here before we actually get started with the push. Any other questions or things like that before we sign off today, guys? Cool. Here's the last few thoughts, okay? Work really hard on creating more names and numbers. Work really hard to get some orders up. Make sure you don't show up tomorrow with a team meeting. Like, we're ending this meeting now, guys. So, I have one last thought. I almost missed this completely. So anyways, we're ending the meeting now. Make sure that you have still one thing. Make sure you don't show up to tomorrow night without any orders turned online. Like, you have 0 orders so far. You've done nothing since we had our last meeting. Like, doesn't look great. Make sure that you've added some more names and numbers, that you've had some orders, and go through that checklist that we gave yourself and grade yourself and make sure we're working on that. 10, 20 demos, get ready to focus on there. Yeah, and Adrian, that's exactly what I said I almost missed. We have a team night out tonight, so it's on the calendar. We talked about it. I realized, look, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I was going to do it on Thursday. We just decided we had to do it tonight because all these freaking restaurants are closing down and everything's closing down again in Miami. Whoop-de-whoop. So we have to do it tonight. If you don't feel comfortable, if your parents don't feel comfortable with you coming out, it's not required. I'm not going to make it mandatory, but I really would like to see as many of y'all as possible. And I think there's some value in kind of just getting this group together in person before the actual push starts. And by the way, if the Corona stuff slows down, if there's opportunities for us to be in person throughout the push, I'm going to do those. Like, we might do like a beach workout one morning or something like that with some of the crew. This just depends what we're kind of allowed to do here. So anyways, I know there's a couple of y'all that would be excited about that one. And a couple of y'all definitely would not be excited about that one. So anyways, but we're going to have a tonight, Flanagan's, 8 p.m. We'll send you guys some details into the group chat. I don't know if we're going to open it up to other people on the team. It might just be for Alliance members. I might maybe let a couple people come, but I mainly just want to be a chance for the Alliance group to kind of connect with each other before we freaking go to war on next Monday. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off. I'll leave the Zoom up in case anyone needs questions.
Leave it up for a second.
Yep, I'll let Adrian do that, and you guys can facilitate your group chats and then post in your chats once you have your teams. I'll talk to y'all later.
Cool. So, couple questions. Let's see here. So as far as today with team night out, anybody live up north? Well,
What do you
Tyler.
mean by north?
I know Tyler's
Yeah,
in
what do you mean? What do you mean by north? It's South Florida.
like north of Doral.
Oh yeah, I do.
Mm,
Okay, north of Doral. Just one. Okay, so I mean, would you guys go ahead?
Yeah, but how far from Doral?
I'm either thinking doing it in Doral or same place as last week where we did it down south.
I think. What about the Gables one?
Yeah,
Isn't it
that's
the
where
Gables?
I'm like kind of aiming towards, like on like birdish kind of deal. Maybe a little bit more south, which I know is a little bit probably further from Sydney. But if it's like the majority of the group, if we're cool with that, and then Tyler, you're gonna take a flight from Maine, right? I'm kidding. We'll zoom Tyler in. But what do you guys think? You guys think Doral or like Gables, kind of like south, kind of like what we did last week?
Whatever's easier, I guess.
I'm probably not gonna go. So if you like, we're
Okay.
gonna do the Doral just so I would be closer. It's no big deal. You could go to Gables.
All right, appreciate that. All right, so yeah, guys, then probably Bird. Thumb up for Bird. All right, cool. And then I know they have like an outside too, so I'm gonna try to get some outside tables because that's probably less worrisome. So we'll get that done. Team captains, make your chats here, and that's pretty much it. Any questions before we wrap up?
Are they gonna send in all the stuff that we just edited, like the list of teams and things like that?
I can actually send a picture of that real quick. Yeah, because you guys don't have it. You're trying to see who's on your team. Christina's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I need that. All right, yeah, I'll do that real quick, and then that way you guys can make your chats and all that. And then Suzanne, Christian, I'm gonna text you guys right now. Okay. Cool. All right. See you guys soon.